Cap. We're back. Got my little foo-foo with me. Shout out to Mo Bangers right here playing. Starting the episode with Mo Bangers, Rhode Island artist, Rhode Island rapper, Mo Bangers, Beast Mode. Song out right now.
I can't quit now. I'm in too deep. I done put my blood, sweat, and tears and no sleep. It's on me.
What?
All on me. All on me. All on. I got my own back in case nobody else do. She gon' get real. People gonna test you. You gonna have some cloudy days and ain't no one gonna help you. That shit gonna be stressful. And when you flex up, everybody wanna know the next one. And when you shake back, everybody wanna be next to you. And when you flex up, everybody wanna know the next one. And when you shake back, everybody wanna be next to you.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
Yeah, little bitch, I just checked the GPS and said it's my turn. Bitch, it's my time. Ain't no dim in my shine. Try get in it where we go.
Round of applause for the Cap crew. Welcome back again. Those who are watching us live, the live chat, the Cap crew. Welcome back to another episode of Club Ambition Podcast, episode 191. I'm your host, Victor, here. Sound! And we got co-host Noel in the building, ready to go. Damn, let's do that one again. And we got Marlon in the building, ready to go. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't know it, can't see it, but Marlon's wearing no underwear right now. He's no pants.
I'm freeballing.
He's literally naked beneath the waist.
In case y'all didn't know, somehow, some way, Victor is perfectly fine with 70, 80 degree weather inside, and we gotta freeball it.
Nah, it's allegedly.
He's against AC for some odd reason. Yeah, I don't know. If anything reaches below 75, it's cold for him.
Listen, man, I'm warm blooded, or was it cold blooded? Would that be cold blooded? Cold blooded technically? What would I be? Warm blooded or cold blooded? In that case,
is warm
Dominican blooded?
Is warm blooded something? You're Caribbean, bro. That's what that
yeah,
is.
Dominican blooded. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Thank you guys for joining us for another week, another episode. Club Mission Podcast. A lot to discuss. First of all, shout out to Mother Earth Wellness. This episode is brought to you powered by one of our sponsors, Mother Earth Wellness dispensary based out of Rhode Island, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Make sure to stop on by Mother Earth Wellness. During this live stream, you guys are able to get a 20% discount. If any of you are cannabis consumers, have friends that are cannabis consumers, want to buy a gift for a friend that might be a cannabis consumer, whether it's a lotion, etc., there's a 20% discount during this live stream every week. Ambition20, use the promo code, and also Ambition by itself gets you 10% off. So if you want 20% during the live stream, make sure to watch the live stream, use the promo code. Or if you just want the 10%, just use the Ambition code. Online, pre-order, or in person. I believe it should work in person. Some people have told me that they've been helping them out in person as well. So shout out to Mother Earth Wellness. They are doing a deli bar. I don't know if we can make the proper announcement. They're doing a form of a deli bar. Something's coming soon. I got to hit up shout out to Jalen to get the details. I didn't get any details this week, but I should be able to get some details for you guys next week. But just shout out to them in general. Mother Earth Wellness, promo code AMBITION. Make sure to use it. Yeah, we're here. A lot to discuss, like every week. Right, a lot to discuss, the stereotypical phrase, but what the hell happened to Lil Wayne? The Carter 6 came out, and it's like traumatizing. We're going to talk about that. Where's Drake and Nicki when you need them? They haven't even reposted this album. We don't know what the fuck's happening. Elon Musk and Trump are beefing right now. Right, the boyfriends have broken up. Timbaland has broken the internet with his AI announcement. Timbaland has an AI company and an AI artist that he's launching called Tata. We're going to talk about that. The BET Awards are currently happening as we're here. We might be able to not show you guys actual footage during the BET Awards, but we'll show you some quick highlights, whatever happens during the stream. Love Island is back. The #1 show in the world. We're going to talk about that. DDG responds legally to Haley. Holly, my bad. The Haley fans be killing me in the comments. You mispronounce it wrong. My apologies. The LA protests, the LA ICE protests. And we also have Rhode Island protests we just came from. And the finals. Update on the finals. And some local news. From Bears in Rhode Island, a shooting in Chad Brown, the Washington Bridge from Hell update. Rest in peace. I believe it was a young girl that passed away at the Portuguese club. Vinny Paz inducted into the Hall of Fame. And last but not least, we have Councilman John Gonzalez stopping on by. Controversial thing. For example, if you don't know, what could be a way to phrase this? If you guys want some drama or some tea, you guys that are interested in just like, oh, what's happening? Locally, there's some shit that happened with Bhad Bhabie in Rhode Island. And we're going to talk about it with this councilman, John Gonzalez, who made a post giving her a gift, an honorary certificate. He's called out of flack locally. But I think this story is something that deserves national attention. And he's going to be here addressing it for the first time on a platform. So we're going to talk about it with him. And I have a message from Bhad Bhabie herself to Rhode Island, to our state. It's it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. But at the same time, we'll get into that at the end. We don't got to start off with that, obviously, but stay tuned for that is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Don't just stay around for Lil Wayne, etc. There's more to discuss. But without further ado, what happened to Lil Wayne? Everyone's questioning right now whether someone that I called many years the greatest rapper of all time, Lil Wayne, they're wondering if he has officially fallen off. Right? You can play it. What's that?
Bro, I'm trying to play the live stream so I can see the chat and then give me the commercial.
I thought it was the Lil Wayne album, that song. I thought it was Inspector Gadget. It sounded like it a little bit.
No.
But people are wondering if Lil Wayne has fallen off. Right? Some people are like, oh, no, he's been bad for years. I disagree. I think Lil Wayne, for context, obviously, he dropped the Carter 6. One of the most historical album series in the history of music is the Carter. Everyone talks about it whenever it comes out. The Carter 4, Carter 5, Carter 6. It's a historical thing. And we're back again with Carter 6. He dropped the release date. Everyone was been waiting. And the album's not out. Now that the album's out, the general consensus unanimously is that it's horrible. It is trash. My take is this, after thinking about it more, not necessarily replaying it more, because I didn't want to put myself through that trauma again. But there has to be damn near like something called like Lil Wayne fan PTSD that we're going to have now after this album. Because if you're a diehard Lil Wayne fan like me, you understand the talent and the genius of Lil Wayne. But then this album feels like a mockery and like a parody of anything having to do with Lil Wayne. But my thing, and people have been discussing it online, is pray from the top. Put the first like 5 seconds again. Pause that shit. Lil Wayne needs better production. I think that Lil Wayne still is an amazing rapper. He might be the greatest of all time when it's all said and done, as far as the ability of rhyming words, just rapping as a skill, especially without writing, because he doesn't write nothing down. Lil Wayne might be the best, the greatest, the GOAT. The thing is, it's no longer just about that. Him and Eminem are addicted to rapping, and they've reached a point where they, in my opinion, could comfortably retire. I've been telling Eminem for years to retire. Just retire, retire. We don't need new music. We don't need new music from Lil Wayne. We don't need new music from Eminem. But we get it. So I'm grateful for that because they're still alive. They're living legends. So the fact that we get it, I think, is amazing. The thing is, if the shit sucks, then it's like, wait a minute. Should we have even gotten it? Also, does it affect their legacy? I don't think it affects their legacy, but with the Carter, one can argue that because it does taint the Carter series. I don't think he's missed with the Carter series until now. Carter 5, people, okay, I think it's the worst one up until now, but I still think it was a good project. Now, the Carter 6 feels like Lil Wayne fans and music fans in general right now of hip-hop should be worried about Lil Wayne. Because what is happening? Is there too many yes men around him? Is he out of touch? Does he not care about what he's releasing? The intro and the outro are good. So it's like there seems to be a starting point here. But where the fuck did he veer off the wrong path? Like, why are we getting this type of production that sounds like the beginning of a video game? It sounds like Crash Bandicoot. Like, it's completely ridiculous. I'm not mad at the lyrics. If the production was good, I think that we would appreciate it more. But right now, it's just ridiculous. Have you guys listened to the album again? Noel, Marlon, have you guys listened to the album again?
Listened to it a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
Fully?
The whole album.
The whole album, Noel.
Swear to God.
You fucking hate yourself.
No.
Yes, you do.
I wanted to understand what the problem was.
What's the problem to you?
First off. Decepticons. yeah, this is really, like, bro, this is really some shit that, some shit they will put at the end of Transformers. Bro, I woke up at 6 a.m. I looked out to the sun. I just started talking about hope and Autobahn. It's at a Sunday morning, bro. I swear to God. Bro, this shit is ass. But here's the thing, bro. A few things. I agree with Vic. Intro, outro. Outro is better than the intro. It just suddenly, like, had no direction in the middle. Like, so quickly. And when I'm hearing it back, I'm like, this feels like a tribute album to Wayne's legacy in the sense of like, oh, he's done all these type of genre music. And I feel like that would have worked. Like, oh, you know, we're going back to the Mr. Carter. We're going back to the How to Love, like those type of hits. Even has a song with 2 Chainz. That's a throwback. Like, one of 2 Chainz's best fucking features is when he was Titty Boy and he did the song with Wayne back in the day. So, like, I'm hearing back, I'm like, okay, I could see you guys trying to do that. You didn't roll it out as that. There was no marketing around it. Like, if they'd done, like, oh, this is Lil Wayne's last album.
Yeah.
Or the end of the Carter series is a look back of everything Wayne's done, like Eminem did. The Death of Slim Shady was literally that. It was all of Eminem's sounds over the years. And it worked because he did it really well. He incorporated new people. He brought on JID. But we didn't see that with Wayne. Like, Wayne didn't do that at all. Like, it sounded like maybe that was the direction they were going, but they just, like, picked up throwaways from a bunch of different, like, studio sessions. Like, at one point, I'm like, I know when this was made. Like, the Bono song, that shit came out of one of these recovery album sessions. The song that sounds like How to Love came out of that session. Like, this sound like throwaway songs. People were saying maybe he's broke. That's why he didn't have good producers. I'm not going to say that. I don't know a nigga's financial situation. Also, I'm not believing that. I'm not believing that Lil Wayne in 2025 can't walk up to a Metro Boomin and be like, give me a beat, and he won't give it to him for free.
Yeah.
It
doesn't make sense.
That's when I started to, like, lose the crowd, because I'm like, nah, y'all ain't making sense in these statements on Twitter, because I get that in a lot of, like, K-Bot, hardcore Kendrick fan minds, they think that Lil Wayne is, like, dead and that no one wants to do anything with Young Money. That's not true. Like, when Kendrick got picked for the Super Bowl, people were upset. Rappers, major artists were collectively saying it should have been Wayne. That bothered Kendrick so much he put it on whacked out murals. So I understood that, like, the industry still respects Wayne. Mm-hmm. There's no issue with Wayne. Wayne can make a call and get a feature or a song from anyone. I can imagine anyone on this planet that is a major artist would have loved to have had a beat, a feature, or a hook on the Carter 6, without a doubt. Not have paid a dime, not have asked a dime for it, just to be a part of that legacy, that greatness. So that shows me, it ain't that he's broke. It ain't that he ain't called nobody. I mean, it ain't that no one like was willing to give him something. I feel like Wayne is out of date. I feel like he lives under a rock, just like Eminem. I think the fine line between him and M is M has a good team. Because when you look at the last album, JID's on it.
Yeah.
JID is one of the younger acts that are actually like a fucking unicorn when it comes to his rapping shit and has modeled himself off of M and Lil Wayne. The fact that JID's on that album shows me, oh, like Wayne actually, whoever's on Eminem's team is paying attention to who's hot. I don't see that with Wayne. I don't think Wayne even knows who JID is or someone like a JID. I don't think he knows who Griselda is, which would have been a great person to throw on this album too as a group.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of people he could have called, he didn't call. And I don't think it's because he's broke. I don't think it's because the industry hates him like Twitter was saying. I see a couple people saying that. I think it's because Wayne don't know shit about music anymore. He's a mega star that lives in a bubble and just skateboards wherever he wants. And I think that he has a terrible fucking team around him. And I think this team didn't do a good enough job in creating like songs.
Yeah.
Like there's no songs in this, bro. At one point I'm like, this is a terrible hook. This is a terrible beat. This sounds too popish. This beat sounds like some bullshit. But he's rapping.
He's rapping.
The nigga's rapping. Go listen back to some of those songs. Break down the bars.
No. He is 100%.
He's rapping. There's some corny shit though. There's some dated shit. The Kesha bar that Vic brought up in the reaction. I heard it again. It sounds disgusting. I know you liked it, but that whooshy bar, that was disgusting, Vic. That was bad. That was
Pussy
very bad.
gushy.
Yeah, that was bad. That was
Pussy
bad.
gushy.
That was bad. But like, there wasn't enough bad moments for me to think he still can't rap. Like he could still rap. The rap is like 7.5 after a few listens. I'm like, okay, you still got it here. It's just you need someone to help you construct a song, nigga. And that's my question to you guys. Lil Wayne, you get him with a team. You think he can give you a great album in 2025?
100%. I think Lil Wayne should get with someone who's experienced in working with older rappers with a modern sound. Hit Boy. Hit Boy has done, I think, 6 damn near phenomenal albums with Nas. Hit Boy can do an album with Lil Wayne, and the album would be amazing. It would be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Metro Boomin. I think Metro Boomin could be a great collaborator because Metro Boomin has that soundtrack sound that he can take it to. If Wayne wants some pop soundtrack shit, Metro Boomin could do it on some fly shit. He does the fucking Spider-Man soundtracks. He's good as fuck. That's the only 2 people I would want with Lil Wayne right now. Other than that,
You wouldn't want.
I wouldn't want like a
Alchemist?
DJ Premier. I wouldn't even really want an Alchemist. I'm sorry. I wouldn't want an Alchemist because I would want it to be a bit more modern. It's because,
And they also said JID does have a song with him, and so does Benny the Butcher,
okay.
which is crazy to me. So where are they? This shows me more that this team is terrible then.
Because I do remember the songs with Benny the Butcher and with JID. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Lil Wayne, unfortunately, knows who they are. I'm not going to lie to you. We got to be honest. I think Wayne could just be like doing these verses sometimes
Out of love?
out of love and also to get paid. Like he probably charges. Like there's two ways to go about it. I doubt that Lil Wayne has sat down and listened to like a full JID album.
Yeah, I don't think he's
I don't
done
think
that
he
either.
sat down and listened to a full Griselda or Benny the Butcher album.
I don't think he's listening to a Freddie Gibbs album. I don't think he's listening to a 38 Spetch album. I don't think he's listening to any of these rapping niggas albums.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It's not like a good thing. It's just like it is what it is. Like we gotta be honest. So that's the reality that we're getting to. Like Lil Wayne's tapped out, and yeah, that's what's gonna affect us completely. Lin-Manuel Miranda produced, I think, the worst song in the history of hip hop, and it's "Peanuts to Elephants" on this Lil Wayne Carter 6 album. Lin-Manuel Miranda deserves, after that production, to be stripped away of all his Grammy awards. I think he has like
Please.
5 Grammy awards, 6 Grammys. They gotta take away all his Grammys, and they gotta put that motherfucker in jail. He needs to be locked up.
He deserves to get lynched.
This is I wouldn't take it that far.
No, he does. He's right. He deserves
He
to get
deserves
lynched.
to get lynched.
The Lin-Manuel is all jokes, but Lin-Manuel, you're too talented and too legendary in your field to come over into the hip hop field, and you're not really even coming over because you made Hamilton is like a hip hop version. So and you did it phenomenally. To do this on a Legends album
It's crazy.
is insane. Like, what are you doing here? Like, what is happening? Like, Who heard that and was like, yo, we're gonna kill it?
Yeah, but let's be honest.
What
bro.
the fuck is going
Let's
on?
be honest. You're Lil Wayne. And that fucking beat plays. You willingly want to spit on that.
To prove a point
What point?
that I could spit on anything.
I can rap on anything.
I think he's that delusional.
Anyone can fucking throw words around on the fucking thing, rap around, make it sound.
That's not the point.
You're connecting the shit, but like, my nigga, that shit sounds horrible.
I think, bro, I think there's a really big. I think Wayne's brain is so degenerate. Like I think the seizures.
It's fried. It's fried.
It's so bad at this point. His only focus is what he can focus on, and if it's music, then it's like, I don't care if it sounds good. I don't care about what sounds good right now. I just want to rap. Like Vic said, he's obsessed with rapping.
If we go down
To a
the
detriment.
numbers wise, to put it in perspective, numbers wise, the first Carter sold 116,000. Second Carter sold 240,000.
That's crazy.
The
too.
Carter 3 sold 1 million copies in 1 week.
Oh my god.
I think that's the best Carter. Classic moment. I remember that every day. Carter 4 sold almost 1 million. It sold 960,000 first week. And then Carter 5 sold almost 500,000, 480,000 first week. And that was just 7 years ago. Now fast forward, they're estimating that Carter 6 might be his worst selling in the streaming era yet, with about 140,000.
Wow, you're right. 152.
150, which is still a lot and a lot more than a lot of these rappers nowadays. But it's because he's a legend. And on top of that, I'll tell you this much. If people said that the album was good, the streams will go up. Because that's what happens with streaming. First day streaming, Friday, if you see good reaction from an album, people recommend it, people will go check it out. That's a thing. The numbers go up. Projections go up. Projections might go down. He might only sell 100,000 because people are hearing his album's bad. Does it affect his legacy? I think he's still a legend. I think he's still Lil Wayne. It just makes everything questionable now. It's like, now I understand why you weren't a part of the Super Bowl, because they probably contacted his team, saw like it was a mess or the lack thereof of a team, because there has to be.
Or it's known.
There has to be a mess. Something's going on that's wrong. But I'll tell you this much. We do need to talk about and congratulate him on, he did have a sold-out Madison Square Garden show on Friday when the album dropped. Packed. Insanely packed.
That's beautiful.
Unfortunately, he did perform some of these songs off the album.
No, he didn't. Did he perform The Elephant?
I don't know if he performed The Elephant. If anyone that was there, leave a comment below. Did he perform Elephant in New York? I do know that he performed Bells.
And he brought out.
But he did bring out LL Cool J, which was fire. Because like I told you guys, he sampled him and he brought him out. And he's like, I pay homage, nigga. And he brings out LL Cool J. That was fire.
Should have brought out Jadakiss and all them for the.
But it's like, if you're just doing that because you pay homage, you don't need to do that. You're Lil Wayne. Niggas know that you're a legend. We know that you pay respects to the people before you. It's been a known thing. You don't need to remind people. What you need to do is remind people that you can still drop fire. And do what? Drop fire.
Yeah.
Also, Joe Budden and a lot of other podcasters have been talking about this. Rappers need writers. Ever since Meek Mill made that post saying that Drake has ghostwriters, there has been a shift where rappers now, their ego is on 1,000. The most non-lyrical niggas don't want help. Lil Baby, etc. These street rappers, because the ego, because they think, hey, I'm a rapper. I can't have a writer. I can't have help. It's the opposite. These niggas need writers. Why? Because it's no longer, we're in a different era. This is not about who has the better lyrics, it's about who has the better song, who has the best music. And that's because of the shift that Drake created. Drake, and I would say Kanye as well, because Kanye still falls in that world.
Kanye.
And also, why is that? Because these niggas ain't focused about just rapping. They're more about the collaborative effort. If we get more rappers with writers, not for just for their verses, I'm talking about also just hooks and bridges. If you get writers in the room with Lil Baby, with Lil Wayne, and they actually construct a song, like, yo, do this in the intro.
Yeah.
Do your thing here. Or give them an idea, because that's what a writer can do. They could come in and be like, hey, Wayne, all right, do a song about the Carter 6, but make it about looking back at all the Carters. Like a concept. They give them a concept, and like, okay, I do that. Okay, I'll write the hook for you, and then you just do 2 verses. The writer will help them, like, oh, and then Wayne does it. phenomenal. We get a better output. Instead, what do we get? Random Carter 6, the Carter 6, I'm with Carter 6, nigga. It's like, bro, what's going on? That's you paying homage to like the Carter and like, let's do a fucking, there's no concepts no more. We're just throwing shit at the wall. Like, what is happening? Like, what is really going on? And that's why another example of rappers needing writers and help, I think is going to be that Young Thug album. I think that Young Thug album is going to be bad, and there's going to be a big conversation after that Young Thug album. Because what the fuck is really going on? What the fuck is really happening?
I think Young Thug's been falling off for a while.
And to be honest, an example of niggas with good writers around them, not writing their verses, but helping them, Kendrick Lamar. Who was all over that Kendrick Lamar album? The guy that produces and works with Taylor Swift, I forgot his name, Jack Antonoff?
I know you're talking about, yeah. I've seen that.
He helps with writing, constructing songs. That's why GNX is amazing. Because it has thematic records. There's a structure. You can feel what's going on. There's a sound that they're going for. There's a story. Even if it's not heavy, like it's not a fucking Good Kid, Mad City story, but there still is something there.
Even Good Kid, Mad City has mad credits on it.
Yeah, and it's not like it's just Kendrick Lamar sitting in a corner by himself. It's a collaborative effort. Unfortunately, the collaborative effort has been gone out the window. These niggas want to do shit by themselves. That's why the Little Baby album came and went. That's why this Carter 6 album now is going to come and go. It's terrible. It's terrible. We got to get back to making good music. It's okay to collaborate. It's all right to collaborate with a concept. Don't just come on here and just say whatever and leave. It needs to make sense. Now, there's some songs on here that actually are good. So we want to highlight them.
Before you continue, I just want to do
I was gonna say
super chat.
Super chats?
Because
How
he's
the
done it
super
for a few
chats?
times. So
Yeah, 'cause I
Gucci
was
Boy
gonna
Music donated 3 times.
Shout out to Gucci Boy Music. Gucci Boy Music. Gucci Boy Music.
279. Drake dropping with Smiley this Friday. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
June 13th.
699 again, and then 399 again. We appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you,
Yeah,
brother.
we saw you, bro. It's just
Thank you.
You know, they were going on a rant, so I was waiting until it gets simmered down.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I reported on that last week. Smiley made the post. People are talking about it today because Smiley made the track list post. But
It was
Smiley
supposed
made
to
a
drop
post.
on the album, but it didn't.
No, it's coming on the album now.
Didn't the album just drop?
No, the album's coming Friday.
I
Yeah.
thought he dropped something like mad recent.
Nah.
No.
He's been streaming and shit. He's been an agent. Like, he's been out there making
Yeah.
content, Smiley. He's been out here.
Yeah.
Um,
So before you talk about the good songs, because you brought up something, I know that they're
There's
already
only-
starting in
there's
the chat.
only 3. There's only 3.
Rappers don't need writers. I want to explain something to y'all because Vic said it, but he went over it briefly. Rap has evolved. There's no more one mic. Like, I don't think these niggas understand the generation of people just rapping on a song is dead.
yeah.
There's no more New York State of Mind. You're not going to hear a song with a boom bap beat or any type of beat and people are just rapping the entire time and it's going to hit the like people are going to actually consistently replay and it's going to have replay value. Like, no, that's not a thing anymore. You need to formulate an entire song. So what Vic is saying is we need more than just one person in a room. To structure a song, you need a hook. You need an engineer. You need a producer. You need multiple minds in the room trying to understand how do we structure this song? How do we put it within the larger concept of the collaborative piece? Good Kid, Mad City has multiple credits for a reason. Vic is right. When Kanye first started making these albums, he was diverging away from just sitting on a track and rapping for 3 verses. He was giving us hooks, songs, because for the first time ever, a producer was the one rapping now.
100%.
That's not a thing. Like, I don't think y'all understand what that revolutionized music when it came to rapping, because what happened was back in the day, the hook and the beat was given to you by the producer. Joe Budden was talking about this when he was talking to, what's her name? Jazzy?
Jazzy.
That it was the producer who would give you the hook and the beat. For the first time ever, it's now the producer rapping too. So what Kanye's doing is he's like, I'm gonna just rap over my hooks. Or I'm gonna rap over other people's hooks. Or I'm gonna bring this person that I would have brought in to help me make this beat and this hook, and I'm gonna just rap over it. So he creates the collaborative effort. It gets passed on to people like Drake, Travis, Kid Cudi, and it becomes this entire tree of music that Vic is absolutely right. Got abandoned with the Drake beef. The moment Meek Mill says you don't write your shit, wow, the music take a fucking like nosedive because
Yeah.
everyone took up this mentality. But the reality was music took a turn. It's no longer just a rapper on 3 verses rapping. It's now an entire effort of people coming in and helping in the process. Because the rapper is not just the rapper anymore. The rapper could be the producer, J. Cole.
Yeah.
The rapper could be the engineer. The rapper could also be something else. Like, it's more than just rap nowadays. You guys have to let this shit go.
Yeah, because it's bigger. It's bigger than everything. Like no one's trying to say, like, we need you to write someone's verse rapping. We're talking about the overall concept of the record, like helping someone. There's nothing wrong with collaborating. You know, I think that's something that would be beneficial to anyone, even local artists, all types of artists, the smallest tier to the biggest tier. I think it would be extremely beneficial. I think we're getting more of a bigger sound that I think that hip hop has had and can get kind of more back to again. And to be honest, maybe it's the lack of Drake music right now, the lack of DJ Khaled music, maybe like the pop rappers. You know what I'm saying? Where's Jack Harlow? Like these rappers that have these major, hip hop records that they haven't been around. Maybe that's why it does feel a bit I don't know, like the presence is not as palpable. But we do want to get credit where it's due. Obviously, niggas ain't saying nobody's rapping. Niggas is rapping. During that whole Joey Badass back and forth, niggas was rapping. I love that. But what happens? We need to follow that up with the project. I recommend people to go check out the Ray Vaughn album that he had before the beef. I wish the beef happened first and then he dropped the album because people pay attention to it more. But that's a great album. Go check it out. Joey Badass, where's the album? I hope he drops because those same people, they need to, capitalize and drop music as well. I just think it's like a weird moment. This Lil Wayne album's like helping me realize that, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is there no proper, like, what's happening? And I think the Clips album, whoo, I'm excited for that because I think that that's gonna be solid, and that's gonna be something that what I'm talking about. You think Pharrell's not helping these guys?
Oh,
like,
no.
Draw out like the concepts, etc.
Oh my God.
You think Pharrell didn't tell Pusha T like yeah, make sure that's the first line. No one says nothing until yellow diamonds look like PP. Like that's
Genius.
purposely the first line. Like
Because it's sensationalized.
It's a part of the song and getting the people's attention. And it's like what the and it's like a bar and it's whimsical, but he's serious and it's like a taste level to the type of shit. There's a taste level that you niggas gotta understand. This is not just about who has the better raps. It's not about that. We're talking about the music level, the sound, the production. This Lil Wayne album was very disappointing. Very disappointing. But like I said, the good songs on here. Written History, I think is a great outro. Alone in the studio with my gun, MGK delivered. Kodak was decent. Lil Wayne delivered. Being Myself, I appreciate the sentiment. And I think it might grow me a little bit, but right now it's like whatever. It's like a skip.
Booty cheeks.
Flex Up might be the best song on here. I love it. I love the production. I love what Wayne did on there. Hip Hop. The highest streaming song off this album right now is Hip Hop. It's the one with BX The Plug and Jay Jones.
Because the closest one to a modern song.
Yeah, it has like the most modern sound. And I think it's a good hook.
The only good part is Big X the Plug.
Yeah, I think it's a good hook.
You float on that shit.
Hip hop, TikTok, TikTok, but it's like, man, I don't know. It's so weird. This Lil Wayne album, man. Right now, it literally feels like PTSD from the Wayne album that I've gotten. Like,
You really thought it was gonna be good?
I thought so. I thought more because of the fact like the Super Bowl and like the whole conversation. I'm like Wayne. Like, the pressure's on. Like, I hope, like, he knows. He would have to know to fuck up. Like, to fuck up right now would be bad. Because you have a different set of eyes on you, I feel like, more than ever before. Like, a different
You
different
thought he
people.
felt that way for real?
I thought so, because he said at the speech, he was like he felt snubbed and all this shit. He kept saying this shit everywhere. Like, the New Orleans, when he got inducted to, like, the New Orleans Hall of Fame, whatever that was, like, the amazing moment. all that shit that was happening, he was like emotional still about it. When he had the Skip Bayless interview, you could tell he was still emotional about the situation. I don't know. And also, there's a lyric on the Lil Wayne Carter 6 album which we talked about, where he said that Hove said that he saw me. Hove said that he seen me, and then I spoke to Stevie, and then Stevie Wonder said the same thing, but Stevie Wonder's blind. So people are like, is that a diss? Is he dissing Jay-Z on here? I don't know. I don't know. It could be because of the Super Bowl. Jay-Z had help with the Super Bowl.
You need to fight your engineer and your producer, not Jay-Z, bro. Wrong battle.
Yeah, it's like pick your battles. Or like, why would you come at? Do you want to come at Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying? Let me read the actual lyric right here. Jay-Z, Lil Wayne lyric. Because is it a shout out? I don't know. It could be seen as a shout out. I feel like if Wayne wanted to diss, though, he would come harder. He would say something that's more obvious. But then it might put in too much emphasis on Wayne.
David with the 499.
Too much expectations on Wayne.
David with the 499 says, it feels like Wayne died, to be honest.
Jesus Christ, guys.
I wouldn't say all that, but
Me neither.
Musically.
yeah, on Flex Up, Lil Wayne says, I just talked to Hove and he told me he's seen me. Funny. Heard the same thing when I talked to Stevie. Stevie Wonder is blind. But Stevie Wonder says he sees people, but he be lying. So Wayne is trying to say like Jay-Z was lying, that he seen me. I just talked to him and he said he's seen me. And what would he say that to? Maybe Wayne spoke to him about the Super Bowl and Hov was like, yo, I see you. So maybe it's like, oh, Wayne's being hinted at by Jay-Z, like he sees him, maybe the Super Bowl's next for him. But then Wayne feels like he's lying, so he's like, yo, this guy's lying.
Mm-hmm.
Funny thing is, I just spoke to Stevie Wonder said the same thing. He's lying like Stevie Wonder lies. I don't know. Do I want to see a Jay-Z and Lil Wayne rap battle? No. But they both respect each other. I'll tell you that much. Both of them believe that they are both one of the greatest each to each other, one of the greatest rappers of all time. The respect is mutual. Another thing with this album, the production I think is the main issue. But features that could have helped. Why is there not a full Young Money song with Young Money artists, his new Young Money artist? Where's Euro? Also, he's going on tour with Tyga. Why is Tyga not on the album?
Mm-hmm.
Also, Drake and Nicki Minaj both have not posted this album, helped not even promote this album. They're not even on the album. Is there a real deal beef between Drake and Lil Wayne behind the scenes? Is there a beef with Wayne and Nicki now? We grew up on them. We know that they get together. We know that they're tied forever. But in reality, do they not fuck it with each other? Like, what the fuck is happening? It just feels weird. The fact that they're not on it is one thing. Okay. But then on top of that, they're not even helping promote this album? Repost it?
I think there's real
What
beef.
the fuck is happening?
There's beef.
That's odd.
There's beef. So are we just going to ignore the beef?
I'm trying to look up on the Nicki album that we reacted to. Was Wayne on it? I feel like Wayne was on it, no?
Now.
Pink Friday 2?
Wayne was not on
Yeah. Lil Wayne was on Pink Friday 2 on the R&B song.
Which one?
R&B. It's called R&B. We reacted to that.
I don't remember.
Drake and Lil Wayne were on Nicki Minaj's last album, Pink Friday 2 years ago. Also, if we go, was Wayne on Drake's last album? Not this new one, but the one prior, For All the Dogs?
Yes, before he was on the stage singing Not Like Us, though.
Yeah, that is true. People just pointing out that Nicki. Remember, Nicki was tweaking when he wasn't selected for the Super Bowl.
She was.
Nicki Minaj was saying, yeah, Nicki Minaj was frustrated when Wayne wasn't selected for the Super Bowl halftime show. But now she's quiet about this new album, right? The last time we got Lil Wayne on a Drake album, was it Certified Lover Boy? Yeah, Certified Lover Boy. You Only Live Twice with Rick Ross. That's the last time we got
I think their relationship
Lil Wayne
has
on a Drake album because he wasn't on Her Loss right now.
No, he wasn't on Her Loss. I think they have an issue just because of the whole Not Like Us shit on stage. Because Drake said nothing when this nigga got snubbed. Nicki probably not, but Nicki not sharing it makes sense because Nicki's weird.
Nicki was on Carter 5. Nicki was on Carter 5. Nicki was on Carter 5. Drake wasn't on Carter 5.
Listen, the way I would have ran to Toronto and Jamaica Queens and got some verses, bro.
Oh, 100%.
Oh my God. Yo, Chad, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't give a fuck what you say. The boy can still make a song. And I would have called the boy so fast. Like, help me, please. I would have been screaming, help me.
Bruh.
I would call 40 and the boy and say, whatever you got, I need it, bro, please. What is you talking about, boy? Bro.
Yeah, because for those who don't recall, during the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, there was a moment where Lil Wayne was on stage performing Not Like Us
That's what I think
with an
the issue
OVO
comes.
chain.
Yeah.
And he was like, they not like us, or they not like us, or they not like me, right? We not like them. He was like doing a twist on it, but then there was a report by Rolling Stone at the time that said that he was supporting Drake, so he was trying to like mock the song. But then now, more recently, Lil Wayne says he didn't even know
That there was beef.
that there was a beef. He didn't even know what the song was about. He was just saying it because he just heard it.
Which is believable.
And it's like, I believe that more because Lil Wayne's tapped out. But on top of that, the day that Lil Wayne dropped the album, on the way to the concert in New York, this nigga was wearing an OVO chain. He was wearing a iced out gold OVO chain.
In
So
the
what
chat-
the fuck is happening?
Chat, there's a couple of super chats that are giving context. So David Soto says, it feels like Drake died, $4.99.
Right now.
Bruce Wayne, $1.99. Drake was posting Wayne for the Super Bowl. Shit.
Travis Scott was too.
I don't remember Drake posting him, so I might be wrong. He actually did. He posted him and Baby.
I think on the plot twist.
Yep, he did on Plot Twist. Omar Santana, $4.99. I'd just like to add that people may think lyrics aren't as relevant, but the biggest rappers right now, Drake, J. Cole, K-Dot, provide lyrics at the highest level. All right, we'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
But what I'm trying to say is
They
like,
still make good songs.
yeah, because you can't say that Drake is not gonna out lyric a who? Like he's not gonna out lyric like a fucking right now Daylight, etc.
38 Satch.
38 Special.
He's not out. Freddie Gibbs.
Yeah.
None of them niggas. None of them boom bat alchemist niggas. He's not touching a single one of them.
If it's just pure lyric,
But none of them can make a better song than him.
yeah.
Same with Kendrick. Same with Cole.
And none of them can flow better than him. It's just it's more to it than just the rapping lyric. You know what I'm saying? I can write a bar right now that's better than a Lil Drake bar. Like it's just if we're just still going off the better bar, you know, like, I don't know. Like people don't. It's bigger than that. It's bigger. That's what we're trying to say. They do matter. Don't get me wrong. Because if they didn't matter, it's like.
Yeah.
Because also we get moments. Whammy, whammy, whammy. Like, you know, we get songs. She was a fairy with a fatty. Like, there's moments, like musical moments, but it's not like these niggas are now legends or legacy acts. Like, that's not. No, these are momentarily here today, gone tomorrow. But there's still moments. But we're talking about the combination of both, where you create a moment and it's something that's everlasting, musically. Lil Wayne has the capability of doing that. He's done that before. He is just addicted to rapping. That nigga lives in the studio. I've spoken to his artist Euro multiple times. He says that Lil Wayne literally lives in a studio. He just raps. He wakes up, raps. Goes to sleep, raps. That's all he does. We have inside information. We've been getting told this for years.
Yeah, he said he just pushes out songs like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, he's fucking addicted to this shit. So that's the fucking problem.
Yeah. And someone said something that I find interesting. Drake wasn't on it or didn't repost it because he knew it was ass. I won't lie to you.
Hell no.
No, it feels like that.
No, because Drake's posted a lot of ass. Drake's own artist would drop some ass.
That's different though. That's his artist.
Smiley will drop some ass and Drake will
Smiley
repost it.
is ass and he will post it.
But I can't lie to you, Vic. It feels like everyone in the industry knows this was some ass, and they're just leaving it as some ass.
Nah, because at least post a good song. There's good songs on here. Post one of the three.
Vic, we calling it good because it's
Flex
Wayne.
up. Throw that flex up on your story, Mr. Poppy, Champan Poppy.
Yo, Vic. You wouldn't even listen to that song if a normal nigga made it. We have to be honest. We search in because we feel bad because he's a great. But the whole thing is, it's even the good is mid. and then the bad is just bad. I agree with the comment. I've noticed a lot of silence. The niggas who were posting him for the Super Bowl are silent. Travis Scott is silent. ASAP is silent. It's a lot of silent niggas in the room right now, bro. It's like when a nigga show you some shit he made and you gotta be like, oh, okay. Like, They hit him with the, yeah. Bro, because they know it's ass. They know it's just a 19-pack of ass, bro. But he's great, so we gotta be respectful about it.
David Soto with the 999. If I was Wayne, I'd take a loan out for that Drake feature. 100%.
That's
Bruce Wayne with the 499. Wayne definitely knew what he was doing, saying they don't like us. They don't like us.
They don't like us. That's what he was saying. They don't like us.
Holding up OVO chain at the same. I love Wayne, but come on.
No, I think he didn't know, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he didn't know. Yeah, and also Lil Wayne also did a lot of drugs throughout his career, so maybe the drugs have affected his mind, which is a possibility, unfortunately, as well.
he doesn't remember his raps.
He doesn't remember his own raps. He doesn't remember that he even made certain verses, right? So he's just a different animal. Like, I think we the people don't understand, like, this is not your stereotypical rapper. This is an alien. Like Eminem, alien. These are certain aliens in this shit. Like, even Jay-Z is an alien. Where, like, these guys are just different. And it's to their detriment sometimes. Where they just care about rapping. They're out of touch. They're out of touch. Right? But even Drake, I think Drake could get with him and make an album. I think Drake can curate a great Lil Wayne album. Drake years ago, I remember Drake years ago said that he wanted to like produce like a Birdman album. Like he wanted to do an album for Birdman and help Birdman do like a solo album. Cuz I think Birdman's never had like a proper solo album yet. I think Drake was like thinking throwing that idea out in the air. I thought it was genius. I'm like, yo, Drake can help him do that. Help do a couple songs on there and that could be fire. I think that could be executed well. Never happened. Drake could do the same with Wayne now. Curate that album. Like, maybe play the backside. Maybe he can't, though, because of UMG. Because Lil Wayne's on Republic, I think. And I think Republic's owned by UMG. I believe so. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, Siri, does Republic Records fall under Universal Music?
Yeah, it does. I think so.
Bruce Wayne with the 199. He says,
Yeah.
I don't know much about Lil Wayne, guys, so I'm sorry. He says, I need FWA or Dedication 6 Wayne back.
FWA, Free Weezy, the Free Weezy album, yes. Free Weezy album is one of the most underrated Lil Wayne albums. That album was underappreciated. That's a good album. It's one of the more better albums of the random ones he's dropped. These random mixtapes and shit on the side. That's one of the ones. FWA. I think he dropped it only on Tidal. I remember that shit years ago. That was a good ass album. It was like in response to like Birdman, like free him from like the Birdman deal and everything. Moving on from Lil Wayne. It seems like everybody in the music industry right now is talking about the world of AI. Timbaland right now is being questioned, and people are saying that he is going against his own culture, specifically hip hop, with AI. Because Timbaland, famous producer from Justin Timberlake, the guy is a legend. So we want to place love on him because I know a lot of people have been trashing him. There's rumors, I got to do my own research more, but there's rumors of him owing artists money with like something called Beat Club or something in the past. I got to do my research on that, but people are saying like, yo, he's been a piece of shit for years. I didn't know he's been a piece of shit for years. All I see is Timbaland doing dope shit, dope production, legendary tracks, and on top of that, the Versus thing he did with Swiss Beats, legendary. And on top of that, his live streams on Twitch, he's like a pioneer amongst like the young, not young, but amongst the legendary producers hopping on the young wave
platforms. Yeah,
he did that shit. He's been doing Twitch live streams for years, and he helps spotlight independent new artists. So we gotta start with love. But Timbaland has launched what is basically almost like a record label, but an AI record label. It's called Stage Zero, and he has an artist, and she's called Tata. Tata. He says that she's not an avatar. She's not a character. Tata's a living, learning, autonomous music artist built with AI. Tata is the start of something bigger. She's the first artist of a new generation. He's calling the genre A-pop, almost like artificial pop, popular music. A-pop is the next cultural evolution, and Tata is its first icon, right?
Don't you remember that
I know
previous
exactly what you mean.
rapper?
Yep.
Yeah,
The one that got signed.
that's what I was about to get to. The concept of this is not new
Yeah.
because there's been AI rappers and AI artists already existing. They're out there. There's AI Instagram accounts with followers, stars, AI. There's AI personalities out there in the world.
Yeah.
The thing is, no one of a stature like a Timbaland has co-signed them yet or fucking created one. So now you got Timbaland creating this Tata character, and it's only been literally, it feels like it's like a 80% negative feedback completely. We have legendary engineer known for working with Jay-Z, an icon, Young Guru. Young Guru's calling him out, basically saying that it's something that's straying away from the human emotion, and it's an unnatural evolution. For example, we weren't able to get new albums without listening to the old albums. We couldn't get Nothing Was the Same from Drake without getting a So Far Gone. If you put it into an AI, who's to say that, you know what I'm saying, you'll get that. You won't see the growth. There's no life experiences, there's no relatability. It's just an AI, right? Which is arguable. But to play devil's advocate, what if the shit's, at the end of the day, fire? Like, what if the music is good? How many times have you heard a song and you've been like, oh, this song's fire? Like, you don't know who the fuck it is, but you just like the song. Like, this song is fire. And then eventually, you might make your own discovery. I would argue that that's the majority of listeners of music.
I mean, let's be honest, bro. When that whole AI shit blew up on fucking TikTok and there was like fake songs being made with these with the voices and shit, there was some hard ass fucking tracks.
So didn't you send me? Someone sent me the other day. No, I think it was Edwin sent me a 2023 like Bad Bunny AI song with like a bunch of reggaeton artists on it. It was on SoundCloud, and it was good. And he's like, and it's getting traction. It's from 2023. He's like, yo, listen to this shit. It's AI.
Yeah, Bad Bunny was talking shit to people. They're like, if you guys fuck with it, you guys don't fuck with me or some shit.
My thing where it gets scary is, do we need this? Do we need this? It's happening. So it's like, you might as well, I do believe from a business aspect, yeah. Everyone out there, you guys watching, listening, you guys should all invest somehow, even if it's $1, into some AI stock, company, something. Do it now, because that is the future. It's inevitable. But do we need this specific version of it, right? Do we need an AI record label with an AI artist? It can get scary, because what's happening to the real artists? There's an argument right now that, you know, like we said earlier, a lot of these rappers could use writers to make better songs, not just better verses. Their verses might be fire, but where's the song element? The touch is not as high as it was a couple years ago. Now, if AI comes around, are these real artists going to feel threatened? Are they going to be more competitive, want to go harder? Or are they going to feel discouraged? Like, fuck that. Like, what the fuck? You got AI, you don't need me no more. You know what I'm saying? Also, we can't go to an AI concert, do a meet and greet with an AI. So as big as the AI world grows, I think in reality, the real world grows, but people don't realize it. Because people are gonna wanna get more real life experiences. People will wanna do more meet and greets, like the Chris Brown meet and greets. All that shit's gonna value more because this AI shit is gonna keep growing.
Yeah, but think about it this way, and obviously there's been shows and like animes and shit like that have shown like, I understand people want stuff like that, but like, for example, what if, you have the AI, it's starting to sound more like certain people.
Yeah.
It can sometimes give you, some type of emotions and shit like that. And it start pairing that shit up with like the holograms and shit.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't physically touch them and stuff like that, but like you can probably have like a more like one-on-one interaction where it's like, it's picking up what you're saying to it, and it's automatically, replying to you and stuff like that, to the point where it feels like it's kind of realistic. At least to, certain people that fuck with that type of shit.
So I'm glad you brought
It
this
can
up.
get scary, bro.
because when you brought up, I actually took notes when I was like watching, when I was hearing the live stream. So they talked about that likeness as an illegal standpoint, because they talked about, I forgot what album it was that caused the whole sampling thing to become a thing. It got brought to court. It was literally an album that had to be taken off the shelves because the court ruled that the album used too many samples without permission. And that's when sampling laws started to come in. So when Marloon's talking about is like, how far does likeness go?
Mm-hmm.
Is it also your physical likeness, your verbal likeness, your auto likeness? And it seemed like Guru and Timbaland were trying to say, especially Guru, we need to start trying to come together and writing legislation ourselves and introducing it to legislators that incorporates regulation around likeness. Because they said it, and I agree to an extent, AI is not going nowhere.
No.
Once it's already open, you just keep going with it. I can push back a little bit on that because that's not what happened with the nuclear weapon. There has been moments in human history where technology has taken a step back or just didn't work out. Perfect example, I remember Regular Show made a joke about this. What's that shit called? The laser disc. Laser disc failed. Laser disc was a more superior technology than VHS at the time, but laser disc didn't work out.
Yeah.
And VHS stayed alive until CD shows up. So it's not necessarily true that AI is gonna see its logical conclusion. Like things can happen, market can change. We never know. But that likeness conversation was really important. This is a question I have for you too. When it comes to likeness, do you think there's a way to regulate someone's voice and someone's actual like holographic being? Like, how do you even do that?
I don't see it happening.
I don't think so.
I think it's gonna get out of control, because you got to think about it. Guru was saying it too, where it's like, and we saw it with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's first 6 albums, young Taylor Swift voice. She re-recorded those albums. The voice was different. It wasn't hitting the same, but it still was successful because it's Taylor Swift and she has a fan base. But you can hear the clear difference in the voice. Even as adults, our voices change. You could be a grown-ass man, and then 10 years later, your voice changes, gets deeper, whatever. It happened with Drake. You can hear the voice change,
100%.
the vocal inflections, right? Kendrick Lamar, all these rappers, you hear the difference. You hear rigor mortis, and it sounds completely different from a fucking GNX today. Like, it's just different. So, I think that's where human actual interaction and the actual listening and buying the album from the artist, I think the fans are always going to drive that and value that more, because you grow with the artist. You get to be a part of the story, except like, you remember the times. Kanye West recently has been doing it. He samples his old shit. Like, oh, I remember that song from this album. And like the nostalgia. Nostalgia is always going to be important. But there's going to be a crowd of people, like I said, who just hear music. They don't care about someone's story. They don't care about what's happening with them. They just care about the shit sounding good. They just care if this music makes me feel good at the gym. They just care if this music makes me happy. It's like a drug almost, right? They don't care about the behind the scenes, what's happening. They just care about the music. So the AI is going to thrive off of that. And there's going to be another crowd of people that love the tech. So they're going to want to follow the AI's career.
Yeah.
From day one.
100%.
From day one.
You know what the thing is too? This is the thing too, right? Obviously, like you said, there's people that either are there just for the music or they're there for the whole ride, and you're getting the music out of it as well, besides the development of the persona.
Yeah.
But AI, this is another way where AI is going to win. AI has the ability where it can become more intimate with every fucking person. AI could... Whoever the fuck loves an artist as an AI and shit like that is probably going to be able to interact with that person every single fucking time that they want.
Okay, I see that.
You know what I'm saying?
That could feed into stan culture.
Being able to completely interact with that AI character the whole fucking time, whenever the fuck they want. And it's going to be very intimate. It's going to be a one-on-one. It ain't going to be like the same thing for every single person. Compared to artists, they don't reply to you sometimes. They don't pay attention to you all the time. You know what I'm saying?
That AI can respond to everyone at the same time.
So at the same time, different conversations.
Exactly, right. That's scary.
Very individualized. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna take, bro. I'm telling you that.
I'll take it to another
I'm
level.
telling you right now, man.
Combining two things that Marloon said, the AI. Imagine the AI morphing with the holograms, like Marloon said earlier, and like he just said right now, and then everywhere they do a tour, a world tour. Tata, the AI artist, a world tour. Guess what? The first world tour in history that happens in one day. 50 arenas.
Exactly.
Performing simultaneously at the same damn time,
bro.
that AI hologram.
Yeah.
That could happen. And people just for that would go. Now, can it be a multiple day thing? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, that's scary,
It probably can, bro.
but it's gonna happen.
So let me ask you
And
this
it's not, to be honest with you, I probably would go to the first
I
one.
would go.
I would
And
go to
the-
the first
and the
one.
thing is, bro,
just
is
to
like,
experience it out of curiosity.
You being a venue, you being a label, why the fuck would you not? Why would you not invest in that
No,
shit?
of course you would.
You know what I'm saying? That's constant money. You know, not only that, once you have the equipment and shit like that, it's a one-time payment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if you yourselves are the one that own the entity,
Facts.
it's a done deal, bro.
Facts.
And then it's gonna evolve to the point where obviously there's robots and shit like that. Now you can implement the AI to it and shit, and you're gonna have an actual physical fucking thing.
So this is also based on an
That-
assumption here.
Artists are cooked, bro. I'm sorry, yo.
But this is where I kind of have to fight back against the doom and gloom.
Before, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna talk about this. Ari with the 199. Will new laws for artists be put in place? Go.
Not for a while, because legislation always takes much longer than anything else, and technology is moving way too fast. And Guru spoke about this too. You need to understand the time frame between the printing press and the first combustion engine for a car was like 200 years, I think, like 100 years. We are watching things drastically change within a few 10 years. Remember, FaceTime started in like 2005.
Yeah.
2006, 2007. I remember when I was on the bus and I saw my first FaceTime with my bus monitor. Like, to create legislation just for that in that short period of time is just so difficult. Government doesn't move fast enough. We don't move fast enough. We're evolving at a faster rate than our society can handle. I think AI can fix that, but because AI can write legislation. Yeah, it can be used as a tool to write legislation. But this is my issue here. This is where I'm not gonna be doom and gloom, because this was Timbaland's rebuttal here. He was very clear. Who cares that AI makes music? Because it's going backwards. It will always go backwards, because it always has to look back at a catalog that already existed. It always has to look at thought that's already existed. There's no original thought. So this is where the conversation comes. This is where Vic's point comes in.
But it could evolve to the point where it can, though.
That's the question. Can it? What is the source of original thought? Because the reality is this. What we're discussing here is the gift. When you read a book, when you watch a show, when you're listening to something, that magic, that thing is the gift. The ability to put your craft into something, even if you're an engineer, even if you cut hair, there is a gift. In DR, we have an old saying, cada persona nace con un pan debajo de su mano. That means you are naturally just born with bread. The bread is a symbolism for a gift that God is just giving you. You were born with it. So the question is, are we actually given a gift in life? Is there some supernatural being in the universe that's giving us our gifts? Or is it just something in the brain? Does the brain just wake up and, we just naturally have these skills and gifts? Can we replicate LeBron? Because it's just a body thing. It's just a mind thing. It's not some natural gift that he has. Can we replicate Virginia Woolf? Can we replicate, Kanye West? I personally don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just a brain thing. I think in reality, this is a gift. And when Vic says, that the AI music is hard, bro, that's nostalgia. Because a lot of those songs don't sound new. They sound old. The Drake and Weeknd song that they brought up in the stream that got nominated for a Grammy, that song sounded dated as fuck. And that was their point. Timbaland's like, bro, it's making some ass. All AI makes ass. Lupe said that when he went to Brown. They asked him. He's also supporting AI technology. He's like, yo, we have a machine right now at MIT that is making raps. I don't know if you still have that clip, because that'd be huge.
Yeah, I could post that probably this week.
Yeah, he literally said, we're building a machine that's building raps. You get close enough with an AM radio and you can hear the raps it's making. But Lupe said it can't make raps better than me. My raps are authentic. They're years of practice. And that was their huge argument. That's the question I have for the room. Do you actually think that AI can get to a point where it can authentically make something? Like original thought, the way human beings can? Or, and like, are we just that, like machines that can just be replicated by ourselves?
Well, can we make the same argument where, you know, these artists grew up on music? They grew up on listening to certain sounds, to certain things, and then maybe they don't make similar music, but they grabbed what, you know, pieces and elements from different artists and genres and shit like that they've heard, and then they practice around with it and played with it to the point where they tried to make something that is somewhat distant from what they know because of the fact that they want to try to stand out, to try to make it different. But in reality, the essence is still there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the argument is the same for people too.
My thing is, bro, is that I can't believe in this narrative that human beings are just making things because of their brain. Because then why don't we pass those things on through reproduction? LeBron's kids don't play like him. Not even close. The same with Jordan. Kanye West's kids, not all of them are going to be these super engineer producers, geniuses. The same with Drake. Adonis is going to be a super fucking artist. Picasso's kids didn't turn out to be amazing. Like, this is where my frustration with this conversation comes. If it's as easily replicable and like genetic as y'all jacking it to be, then we should just be able to easily replicate our genes and make every genius into another genius. Like in Naruto, when they take Hashimaru's cells. Like, I should just be able to take your cells and I have your abilities. It should just be that simple.
Here is an AI post made by Timbaland in response to the backlash he's gotten. I think it was extremely tone deaf of him and fucked up. But he did say like he was, I guess, trolling. But listen to this.
Music. Whatever. Go ahead and cry me a river, since Timbo Stamp is on that too.
Pause it in case for copyright.
But this
About
looks like
AI
shit.
taking your spot, but your songs barely mix. Why would we train it on that?
Man, y'all scared of AI, but record every hook in Melodyne.
Auto-tune is AI, baby. Y'all just didn't complain till it started writing better hooks than you. Timbo ain't the villain, he just not babysitting y'all no more. You want opportunity, but ain't got output.
You worried about AI stealing your sound? Bro, you ain't got one.
It's fucked up, bro. But he's not. But
He's not wrong.
he's not wrong, though, Vic.
He's not wrong.
This was their major
all
argument.
right.
Am I kidding? I ain't had no bars to begin with.
He's like a fan. It's like an artist crying. Like he's mocking the artist crying.
Yo,
Let me see this one, 'cause I haven't seen this one. Let me see. What's
I think
this?
it's best we try again.
It's a new one?
I'm live. We need more conversations like this.
These tools aren't killing your creativity. It's cracking it wide open.
At the end of the day, y'all are still the pioneers. We're just here to amplify that.
Okay. So I guess he's now posting one that's more positive and less dickheadish. I don't want to play the music because I'm assuming it's his own music.
Bruce Wayne with the
We
199.
ain't taking
Kai
nothing from
just streamed
nobody.
the Wayne
building
performed
this new
at
wave
BET
together.
Awards.
Yeah, I don't know. Comment down below. How do you guys feel about this Timbaland and AI situation? I like to be objective and look at things also from the devil's advocate where, like, fundamentally, I hate it. But at the same time, I'm interested in seeing where it's going to go, right? Because if Timbaland's intention is not to erase history, he wants to help it, let's see what can happen. Let's see how we can utilize it properly. Because at the end of the day, he already started the company. I'm pretty sure he's been thinking about this shit for years. He's already launched the artist. There's no going back. We have no option but to go forward. And at the same time, the music's gonna come out. We're gonna react to that Tata album when it comes out, just to hear what does it sound like, right? But if the music's bad, if people don't fuck with it, then I feel like it could die off on its own. But if the music's good, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't see it going anywhere. I only see people liking it more and more.
But Vic, you don't think that you can use AI to make music better?
No, yeah, but the whole thing that what he's doing is not that. What he's doing is creating basically a roster, like of artists. So it's almost like when niggas watch the Avengers, not real. But now imagine if you watch the Avengers and the Avengers their characters, you follow the timeline and you hear their albums. It's like he's creating these visual animated people, fake people that now it's not just he's signing artists and he's going to help them with AI. He's signing AI. He's creating the AI artists. He's not signing them. I think they're just using that shit. They do that shit a lot of times for headlines. It sounds better. Timbaland signed an AI artist. He's created this AI artist from scratch. Tata. He created her. So that's what I feel like. That's the first of it. He's going to do another one. That's a female. Also, what race is she? I think she's Asian female. Now, also, that's weird because is it a race or not? Are we going to give a race to this AI? It's Tata. What the fuck what's going on? Is she going to do Asian pop? Is A-pop? Is it going to be K-pop music? And then from there, are we going to get a black one, a white one? That's what he's doing.
Let me ask you this, though. This is my question when it comes down to this. Are we going to ignore, the question is, okay, cool, creating artists, whatever the fuck he's doing, right? How much influence does he have, though? Because obviously you have to give AI prompts. You have to give AI a well-written, discussed prompt in order for it to come up with whatever the fuck is going to be given. And then, obviously, after that is created, how much more influence is he going to have on that? Is he going to edit it? Is he going to, you know what I'm saying, throw some flavor of himself in there and stuff like that? So, how does that work out?
Because this is my...
Is it truly just AI or, it's going to be a 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
Without you creating the prompt and shit like that, it's not going to do anything.
Thank you. And that was my thing, Vic. At one point, I'm understanding what he's saying because I'm in its current state, and I don't think it's ever going to get here. I think we're assuming that. I'm assuming it won't. You're also assuming it will. So we all are just an assumption. We don't know yet. But, the idea that as of right now, AI is making its own music, it's not. Someone's making it for it. Someone's putting the prompt in.
Yes.
And even beyond that, it's not making new music. It can't. It can't. It can't. Everything you hear, this is what you don't understand. It has no original thought. Original thought is when you think of something you did not have before. It is the existence of something that did not pre-exist. It is impossible for a system that functions, that has to look backwards to create something out of the backwards, to create something new. That's not how
it's just looking at data.
Yeah, and it's looking at the information. It's but it's even worse than that, Marlon. When I started finally realizing what AI was, when I actually looked into it, it looks at our interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have its own interpretation.
Yeah.
So it's we not getting new music. We get nostalgia, a bunch of mashed up nostalgia.
You want to know what this is? He's trying to distract us with the fact that the reason he created this shit is because of the fact that he knows that since he's an OG, he's an older individual, an artist. He's if he were to drop shit right now, people ain't gonna give a fuck. OGs, old heads will, but the new generation ain't gonna be rocking with it. So
he's got the people's attention now.
So why not create something that's gonna fit the time that we're in? Bless you. And it's pretty much gonna be delivering what he wants to, but as a different person.
I actually agree with Marlon there because I wondered that when he was talking. I'm like, are you making this or is it making it? Because if you're making it using the AI tools, that's a completely different conversation. Then it's Timbaland. It's not this new artist.
No.
And you're hiding behind it.
Leave a comment below. How do you guys feel about this AI situation? We're gonna talk about this a lot because this is only in the beginning. There's more to happen. Timbaland probably gonna announce another artist next week, a Dominican Dembow artist, AI. So some shit's gonna happen. BET Awards are happening right now during this live stream. Let's watch real quick a clip. This is Lil Wayne performing at the BET Awards. I guess he performed the Carter 6. 2 songs off the Carter 6 and a Millie as well.
Yeah, it's the intro.
Yesterday's timeless.
Which he should have.
This is fire though.
Well, he should have.
This is fire live. Like
Especially
the
with the
intro,
choir.
It's a King Carter. I
He
like
should.
that.
They're
Sierra.
so scared.
Sierra's fly as fuck.
She's terrified of what she's about to hear.
The glasses are awful, but that's Wayne. He could wear anything. I'll play through it like this because I don't want to get copyrighted.
Why are there so many? No, let him rap this out. I want to hear it.
That's a classic. That was dope. That was dope. And I think he needs to do good performances like this because he needs to remind people, obviously, that he could do it. Because the Super Bowl got people questioning, oh, Wayne. Yeah. He did that. He did that. But he got to do a bigger tour. He got to do it more.
Money, you want money? Just perform your good shit.
Perform your good shit.
Let's see what else is happening at the BET Awards. But shout out to Wayne. I think this is dope after the Carter 6 coming out. Perfect. Dope promotion. We have Doechii at the BET Awards talking about the protest. Shout out to Doechii. Doechii gonna stand on business every time, I'll tell you that much. Doechii does not give a fuck. She will say her piece, speak out. And because I think she's talking about, is it literally you think, oh, well, that wasn't today, though. The BET Awards are not today.
Saturday.
That was Saturday, but there was protests on Saturday, obviously, still in LA, right? But I'm wondering if she's talking about literally outside of that building specifically, like if it was really right there.
I'm looking up right now.
Because it could have been.
So
Ludacris did a Rhapsody in the bars. Shout out to
Disney,
shout
bro.
out to Ludacris. Jesus
Ludacris got it,
Christ.
Tej got it. Tej got it.
Jesus Christ. Kevin Hart, Chocolate Dropper, freestyling.
See you next time. Put the mic down. Don't be disrespectful. Hey, shout out to K Dot.
I think he really just off the top goes with when he does those. Like, I wish he at least like wrote some funny jokes inside them, but he really just goes off the top with that shit. That's just hilarious. They did like a 1 in 6 in Park tribute. Oh, that's dope. This is B2K.
Oh, didn't Drewski do some shit?
Yeah. Fire. Listen, I'm fucking with what I'm seeing so far for the BT Awards. We had to stream, so I couldn't watch it, but look at this. They got the whole 106 in Park setup. That's fire. Because isn't it like, I think, 15 or 16? Is a certain year anniversary for the 106 in Park. Bow Wow performing. The sells. Nostalgia sells,
no,
nigga.
It doesn't, Vic.
No, it does.
Not for long. Not for long,
Is
bro.
that Bill Cosby?
Name me an
Nah, I
album
think
that's
that's the CEO
nostalgic that
or
sold
the
more than
owner of BT. Shout out to Stephen Hill.
Forgive me. It looked like Bill Cosby.
Stephen Hill. Listen. I'm like what I'm seeing so far, but I guess they went the route of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the fucking nostalgia this year. I guess because of BT's anniversary.
Because niggas is afraid to try new shit. This shit is sad, bro.
I fuck with it though from what I've seen. Obviously, I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know. Look at Glorilla out here, caked up now. They say she got her body done, like her nose, everything.
That shit looks whiter than me. What the fuck she do?
I don't know. To be honest, it might just be angles of her posts recently. But shout out to Glorilla. But people have been saying that she got everything done. I do not know. Yeah. Just want to tap in with the BT Awards while we're live streaming to show you guys what's going on right now. But yeah, this is dope. Seeing B2K reunited is fire. Because these niggas be beefing, not beefing, beefing, not beefing. There's a lot of trauma between them, especially this guy right here. This motherfucker been through hell and back. Rasby. Been through hell and back. This photo looks like a fucking Power Rangers. These niggas look like Power Rangers right here.
These some handsome niggas.
They look young as fuck too.
Niggas did not look like they aged at all. Holy shit.
Damn, it's a good ass photo right here. Damn, they gotta make this the album. It's tough. Nostalgia sells.
No,
I'm telling you.
Doesn't, bro.
It sells, bro.
You're not gonna talk about this tomorrow.
The young niggas won't, but OG niggas will be like, bro, people gonna be like, yo, you didn't watch
Yo, what is the
blah, blah.
resistance to wanting something new? I'm so confused by this.
The thing is, like, they can't really go too new because what are you gonna do? Play with Cardi at the BET Awards? I mean, that'd be fire.
Disgusting.
But then it's like,
We don't want that.
Bro, but like
you
this
probably
is,
lose a big demographic. But maybe do you want to gain that young demographic?
but that just sounds like the industry hasn't invested in the next generation. The fact that you're
But what's the next generation? Don't give me bullshit. Let's be honest. No.
you want to be honest.
Let's be honest. Don't you fucking say Playboy Cardi, bro.
It is, whether you want to acknowledge it or not.
No.
But there's other. Listen, the problem is also
No,
this
that
thing.
shit's
Marlon,
here
the fact
today
that
and
you-
gone tomorrow.
But Marlon, who's in charge right now? This is what I hate about life. Y'all mad that new niggas ain't doing shit, but y'all in charge. Well, not obviously not us, but there's older people in charge. Like these niggas that are 30, 40, 50 A&Rs, they're executive heads. It's y'all fault. So you got to rely on nostalgia because you want to invest in what comes next. I'm always going to support young people, bro. These niggas, they at least trying. And I get how they feel. Because how are you expecting them to even try to do new shit if no one's investing in them? No one's guiding them.
Yeah.
No one's sitting down with them.
Oh, no, I agree with that.
So that's my frustration. I'm tired of nostalgia. We can only rely on this for so long. We have to invest in something new.
I fuck with it.
I love nostalgia.
Give me my B2K. Give me my Bow Wow. Fresh as I'm is. You ain't get the bean.
You know you sound like a dad right now, right?
This shit got Sierra on that bitch on that stage.
You sound like a dad right now.
Sierra.
Y'all sound like dads. Y'all sound washed.
I need some old shit.
How is that being washed?
Relying on what's
You're
already
trying
happened
to
is being
sound
washed.
too young, bro. That's
No,
what it is.
No, I'm trying to look forward. No, I'm trying to. We need to progress this story. We need to move forward.
Right now, currently, there's protests ongoing in LA. There's controversial protests in LA right now. There's cars being set on fire. People are also rioting. Aside from just protesting, there's parts of the protests that have gotten to riot level, right? Where people are on top of cars, pushing cars, and it's gotten very controversial. But this protest, all these protests are happening in LA because of ICE, right? The immigration raids are happening in ICE, but specifically, I guess it was recently. It says here June 6th, in several neighborhoods back to back, they had a lot of undocumented communities, such as Compton, etc., and people were being taken from these communities, and LA has gotten fed up, and people have united, and it seemed to be thousands, almost like 100. It looked like almost like 100,000 plus people in those the big crowd overall in LA over the weekend, and this has gotten a huge response nationally. People are going crazy, trying to say two things. One is obviously, like Doechii said, right? If there's people being oppressed, we should stand for the oppressed. And the opposite, there's people very conservative online saying that this is very reminiscent of the BLM era, right? Of the protests and when it got too aggressive and there was riots, etc. And they're scared of what's to come. This is happening right now. I have some stats right here. I guess reportedly between federal officers have carried out about 100 people in administrative arrest. They're saying from court orders, allegations, etc. This is in LA specifically, and also Donald Trump deployed about 2,000 troops, National Guard, and 700 Marines in support of the federal enforcement in LA. He did this without the approval of the governor of LA, Governor Newsom, he says. Governor Newsom has denounced the federal deployment, and he calls it unconstitutional. He calls it a breach of state and against legal action. So the actual governor of California is against this right now, Governor Newsom. Very controversial moment. There's actual protests here that we went to today in Rhode Island that are proper protests, peaceful protests. There's no fires. There's nothing here happening in Rhode Island. But it is crazy when this happens because it's frustrating because you do see the people lighting up the fires of the cars, etc. And I think it's a way for them to make a statement and obviously get their voices heard. But then it comes off to a lot of people where it's too far because, God forbid, it was your car, etc.
Yeah.
But what I've seen so far it was like Waymo cars, like a line of Waymo cars. Waymo's a company of self-driving cars that got lit up on fire. There might have been some cop cars that got shit thrown at.
There was
some cop cars that got shit thrown at them as well, and some cop cars that got vandalized. But people are frustrated, especially if this is affecting you directly and you have family members and friends of yours that are actually being taken away from your family, then those people that are affected directly, who can tell them, what's the proper way to respond? It's a moment of frustration, right? So this is something that's affecting people's families. So that's why we're getting these type of protests, right? To be naive as to like, I feel like to tell people like, to all just stop protesting and to just think like that should be a solution also, it's like, I don't think that's the case. This has happened for decades. This has happened in third world countries. This has happened in all types of countries across the world where people protest. Right now, there's candidates running for president in Colombia, and the right-wing one had a speech, and a woman walked up to him and just shot him in the head. I think it was like a woman, like a
I thought it was a guy.
It was like a dyke butch, but it was a woman. I think it was a woman. I think he's in a hospital. He didn't die. Surprisingly, I think he's in a hospital, nigga. That's crazy.
Yeah, it like skinned him or
I thought
something
he
like
died,
that.
but obviously he's not a professional
which is
shooter.
Insane.
It's insane. It wasn't a professional
Bro,
shooter.
you're mad close and you
But
miss?
mad close, yeah.
Guns have recoil.
Yeah, so she probably, she went like that.
She's embarrassing.
But it goes to show you,
God bless.
God bless. It goes to show you the level of emotional outrage that people get.
Yeah.
When this is something that affects their day to day. It's easy to sit back online and just be like, this is all stupid. People are stupid. Go home, go home. I personally can never feel that way because I understand. I try to empathize sometimes with these people where I come from immigrants, right? And also you have all these wild stories. Joe Rogan himself said it, where he had a friend of his that in Texas was driving to his house, and his friend has Spanish family, and that his friend said that he was pulled over and aggressively checked, etc., by police because his family's Spanish. And Joe Rogan was out speaking about ICE and saying like they're doing this too aggressively. Someone that helped Donald Trump literally get elected by having him on, right? Even if it was indirectly, without trying to have him win the election. These are things that helped Donald Trump win the election. He has Donald Trump probably on speed dial, but he said this, right? This is something that is a conversation to be had. A lot of people get afraid and weirded out by this conversation. I never will, because I think that it needs to be spoken. It needs to be spoken. Injustice is injustice, even if it's done by our own government, And I do think that it might be the fucking rumor of the quota, that there's a quota that they got to reach. So that's why they're going to the point of like doing this, where it's not just undocumented people that have actual criminal history. They're trying to get extra people that are also just undocumented. And even if there's a criminal history, it's minor. It's not to the extent of like they are a hazard. They need to get them out of here. Because if they have a quota, they got to reach. Because Donald Trump did promise a certain amount of numbers of people, right? And he's nowhere near that number. So if there has a quota that they have to reach, the same way you see these state police out here, first of the month, last of the month, they outside giving tickets because they got to meet a quota. They got to meet a. So it's like if they handle this shit that way, it gets scary because they handle this shit like a task, almost like a video game. Whereas like they gotta remove emotion.
Yeah.
Because they're also just doing their job. So they gotta remove emotion.
Yeah. And just to clarify, being here as an illegal is not, you're not a criminal because of that.
Yeah. Undocumented.
That you're not a criminal because of that.
Yo, because this conversation makes me so angry every time we have it so much. Oh my God. Bro, Obama deported the most immigrants in U.S. history. Clinton did it too before.
And then didn't they use military too in protests?
Yes, Ferguson, the National Guard was called. Dwight Eisenhower, to try to desegregate schools during the Brown versus Board of Education, had to bring in the National Guard and went against the wishes of the governor at the time. There is nothing new under the sun in life. This isn't some extraordinary set of events. It is the same thing happening over and over again. And this is why I get frustrated, because we're making it about party. We're saying, hey, Trump and the Republicans are out to get illegal immigrants. No, the Democrats did the same thing. So now the conversation has to be, is in fact migrating into this country without going through the due process illegal? And does that make you a criminal? That's the first conversation. And then the second one has to be, why are these people so desperate to come here? That is the conversation I always have. Why are they so desperate to come here? And I don't say it as a I got you question. 'Cause that's what they do on Twitter and IG. They're like, oh, you should ask people why they don't want to live in their country anymore. No, you should actually have an honest conversation of why. It's because the money that you pay taxes for, the money that is used for your foreign policy, is used to keep countries in terrible economic situations. And this is why I always get frustrated when I start seeing people on the internet posting these things about, oh, they're deporting people and this is evil and this is wrong. You paying your taxes is evil and wrong because it's being used to keep people disproportionately oppressed to a point that they have to migrate illegally into another country, into multiple countries, depending on where you live. There are people that live in Colombia walking through 4 or 5 borders to get here because your government is using your tax dollars to topple governments. Stop playing with me, bro. So don't virtue signal me and make me feel bad when you are contributing in the system like everyone else is. Like, I get there's calling something out, and then there's the way we're handling this where we're demonizing both sides to a point where it's like, you're evil. No, you're evil. And it's like, well, in reality, we're all participating in the evil. It's like, this is what's crazy. We should be having conversations about solutions. How do we have more ethical foreign policy so people don't feel like they have to leave their country to come here and have a safe life? How do we ensure that we have a legitimate immigration system? Because my dad was illegal till 2008. I remember. This is like a real conversation to have versus what I'm seeing on the internet of just demonizing people. This shit is disgusting, bro. Like, it's so tiring at this point because it's like both parties have done it. Both sides have done it. You're not giving solutions. You're just pointing fingers at this point.
I think obviously I agree with what you're saying, but I think it's like looking at it from their perspective, especially I'm talking about someone that's like directly affected by this, like God forbid, like my mom or something, right? And that happens to me directly.
Oh, it's crazy.
The instant reaction is to do things like this, to protest, to say fuck like, you know what I'm saying, to go off and go crazy. You could give a fuck less about a car exploding, especially if it's like, what's a car exploding compared to you now maybe never being able to see your mother ever again? You know what I'm saying? There's certain things like that where it's like it gets to that level where people feel like this is so emotion driven. But in reality, yes, we should be trying to reach, you know, more solutions and coming together to try to get to solutions. But man, at the same time, this is not the first time that nothing like this has happened.
No.
So
100%.
it's like,
So why are we using the same solutions we've always used? That's my point.
yeah, but it's like, damn,
Learn our lesson.
you know, like what I don't know.
I don't know. I don't keep up with politics.
It's
so I'm
just
good
Vic.
off
Think
of
about
that
it this
shit.
way. If protesting has been done all these years and nothing's changed, why the fuck are we still doing it this way? Why are we still reacting?
Yeah.
Why is there not a conversation of feasible solutions for these problems? Because we're all saying the same shit in reality.
I'll say this. I do always love and do find beauty in when people feel the need to speak their mind
Of course.
and voice like even like the Doechii speech. Like, I love that Doechii speech. Like, she feels the need to speak up and stand for others because she's being the voice for the voiceless, right? Same when today we were walking through the protests and it was like white men here in Rhode Island carrying these signs, and he was like, one of them was like, you know, I gotta stand with my people, etc. And he was talking to like a crowd of a Spanish woman, and they were like, "Yes, papi, sí, papi, gracias, papi." Like, it was like,
That was
I
hard.
love that. I'm
That
like,
was
this is
hard.
beautiful
Yeah.
because this is showing you just a level of unity, and also, and I'm hoping and I'm assuming, yes, that amongst those crowds of people, there are people that are actually trying to put proper efforts forward, are actually speaking to, even if it's on a local level, speaking to their actual politicians locally to try to prevent, let's say, maybe, you know, but can they? They really can't. Like, if it's the president, like for example, Newsom. If Newsom doesn't want troops in California to,
There's nothing he can do.
you know, but then Trump is overriding it, then he's like, there's nothing you can do. But I'm just hoping for the best. I just hate seeing this. This is it's frustrating. It's frustrating. But I do support the protests, peaceful protests of any kind. I think people have the right to do that. I think it's a beautiful thing. I've been a part of protests in the past. It's just very, I've always connected with that. I've always loved that. Even going back to like the the MLK, Malcolm X era. Like I've always just connected with that, the civil rights movements, and there's beauty in that. The frustrating part is there's not a lot of solution. There's not a lot of resolution. That's why I quit the NAACP, because I felt like we were doing a lot of like outgoing and doing this and that, but I felt like there wasn't nothing happening. Like there wasn't like important meetings. We weren't meeting with like significant law. Like there wasn't like things happening. So I really genuinely got frustrated in high school and I just quit it. Technically quit it. I just didn't go back. But
So I gave up as well.
so I got frustrated, but I was a part of it. Like I was trying to be a part of the change, but then it's like, and I think we can speak from this perspective where like we were actually, this is John Gonzalez. We were actually in the movements and trying to help early on as young kids, young adults, but then now you start to learn like there's more that needs to be done just in this. But I do support the people. Real quick, we have a councilman that's gonna walk in. Hello? Hello? How's it going, brother? Yes, sir. You can go up on either end, the red door, and then come up to the second floor, and you'll be able to see in the middle, you'll see our logo on the door. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Perfectly fine. No problem. Yeah, he says he's 3 minutes out. But yeah.
No, I
also,
love the protest stuff.
everyone, feel free to leave your opinion. If you directly are affected by this, I think it's a beautiful thing to get resources to help you. I believe this is one of the resources that we got passed out today.
Yeah, it is. That's to update people on where the ICE.
Yeah, this is to update people on where ICE is. If you see ICE,
Don't show that QR code.
Not the QR code?
Yeah, you don't know if the feds are watching because that's a private.
How about the number though?
Yeah, the number's fine.
Yeah, if you see ICE, call 401-675-1414. Because there's people actually, directly being affected. And discrimination is going to occur, whether we like it or not. 100%. You know how many very conservative people are overtly excited about this? To be applauding this to the extent where you're like, yes, let's get them all out of here is insane. Yeah. Like when you're just celebrating and then you're also now looking at people differently, like saying racist remarks, just because someone's Hispanic, they should get the fuck out of here. But that's the veil of the fucking racism that gets put on here when you do something like this aggressively. So that's the problem here. That's really one of the main problems, especially with social media right now, where you see that. And also the people that get frustrated at that, where it's like you meet fire with fire. Where it's like you just gotta be the bigger person.
That's exactly
if you can't have a proper conversation, without disrespecting and like offending, then you lost the conversation.
That's exactly why I stay away.
You lost the conversation.
I crash out, bro. I don't like dealing with none of that shit, man. I'm the
Let's
first
educate each
person.
other. Let's help each other out.
You say some fucking racist dumb shit, bro. I'm punching the fuck out of you.
Listen, I love a protest. End of the day, try something. That's all I want. I'm tired of this. I've grown too old. I'm only 26, seeing y'all protest every month, and I'm like, bro, at this point, try any solution. Because I feel like, bro, when it comes to this legislation shit, we look for the perfect solution to a point where nothing happens. And it's like, you never gonna find the perfect solution. You have to throw shit at the wall and just hope it works. That's what life is at this point. And they just don't wanna even do that.
Yeah.
They just wanna debate for hours. Because remember, bro, there was a bill in place under Biden that would have drastically changed the immigration policy. Because it was a problem. There were a lot of people coming through the border. And to a point, we don't know who was coming or their relationship, whether they had, if they had ties to any terrorist organizations. Like, it was a huge thing. Nigga, it got support from both parties. It fell apart because of these minor differences. And it's like, bro, you could have passed that and we could have seen how it went. Y'all don't want to try nothing. Y'all just want to bitch. I never met a group of niggas that just want to bitch on both sides so bad. Like, let's just try something. That's all I'm asking for. Some effort. That's it. Anything to make the situation better for everyone. That's all I'm asking for. That's just me. That's it.
Let's pray for the best. I'll tell you this much though, but if the whole entire country protested, that's different.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, you force the hand of the master. Like you got to listen to us. You know what I'm saying? That's different. But we don't live in a country where that's reality. That's not gonna happen here. Maybe there's a future where it does, but if God forbid there's a issue where it's to that level, because that's scary. But shout out to everybody. Love you guys. You know, please be safe out there in the protests. Please be safe. It's a wild time. Shout out to the local enforcements were properly law enforcement locally in Rhode Island. Everything was fine today. The protests, everything was good. So, you know, no burning cars, nothing here. Please, especially we have a lot of fans in LA. Please be safe in LA. Please hit a J3. Kendrick's boy.
I've seen that.
He's out there, bro. Everyone, please be safe. There's a lot of artists also participating, celebrities. Let's just please be safe. Let's please be safe. Moving on. Also, before John Gonzalez gets here, we want to say Love Island's happening, right? Shout out to Love Island. Love Island is a show that has like 50 episodes, and it's the biggest reality TV show. It feels like in the world.
This season has 50 episodes.
Every season has like 50 episodes more.
No.
100%.
Last season didn't have 50 episodes.
100%. Look it up.
I don't remember watching 50 episodes
No,
last season.
last season at 31, bro.
Yeah, like
It was
in
up
the
there.
30s.
Nah, because
it was in the
this
30s.
nigga on Saturday, I went to Juan's house and he showed me it, and I was like, "How many episodes is this?" He
It was
said
like in the 30s.
Nah,
31.
Love
31.
Island.
Last season was like in the 30s,
Season
bro.
6. Watch. Oh, 37. Shit. Might as well call
And that's
that shit
and that's
50.
and that's
a lot.
count. Yeah, but that's counting After Sun or whatever the fuck that shit's called. Nobody watches that shit.
38. A couple seasons ago, 38. Almost 40 episodes, right? And it's almost like it's live because they record the episode, but it's really, when you watch it, that happened like 2 days before or like a day and a half before.
Yeah, it's not that far
But
off.
it's amazing to watch it because you're watching these people on his island interact, trying to find love. They throw in random people, bombshells, and it fucks up the love, right? It's like, oh, wait, actually, I like this person more. Oh, I want this person. Last night, we're at the date right now, from what we've watched as of right now, Marlon watched last night, so we can talk about it. Jeremiah is the talk of the right now, Jeremiah and Hutta, because Hutta has a child.
Mm-hmm.
She revealed it to Jeremiah. I think if you're dating, especially seriously dating, looking for someone on Love Island, from day one you tell them, hey, I have a child. Because you have to do this for the long haul. Now, they win money, I think $100,000 at the end. Couple.
Yeah, the couple wins like 100 grand.
So they have to
but
look
they
at it
decide to split it,
competitively.
though.
They have to look at it as competitively as well. So at the same time, it's like some might kind of fake it a bit to take it to the long way. She says that she was just scared, obviously, to tell him, which is understandable.
I'm gonna go pee.
But then none of the other guys know till to this day. They don't know that she has a child because he hasn't told them either. So this is something that I think, especially me as a parent, that shit affects a lot. When you are a parent and you are single dating, if I were to ever be dating again, right? Anyone in general dating, I think that you should know as adults that if someone else has a child. Hutta was hiding that shit. And I just found it so weird because I'm like, yo, and look at the reactions from Jeremiah. He's still kind of iffy. They still haven't had the conversation fully about
that
it.
shit was the funniest shit ever, bro.
I think that they're just lustful and that I think they fucked in the shower. They didn't show it yet, but I think they fucked in the shower. And I think that when it comes to the what's coming soon, what's it called when they do that, when they put them like on an island? Casa Amor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when they do the Casa Amor situation, I think it's gonna shake shit up crazy.
100%.
I think it's gonna make it a dramatic change because that's when it's.
100%.
I think Hutta is not gonna be able to handle that. I think she's gonna go insanely crazy. How's it going, brother? You can sit out there. I'm gonna grab you in a couple minutes. Noel's in the bathroom too. I think she's gonna go insanely crazy. I think that she's not gonna be able to handle that shit at all. I'm telling you right now. I could just feel it. I just feel it.
You know what people are calling it? They're calling it what was the last season? Kayler and the other one, 2.0.
I forgot the name.
The white girl with the other one that used to go back and forth, get together, this and that. They ended up getting back together again towards the end.
Yeah.
And then after the show ended, it was like a fucking mess. Kayler, the girl that was always crying.
Okay, yeah.
And then the what was it? Aaron?
I forgot his name.
I don't remember his name.
Aaron! That one, Aaron.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I will say, I think that Bella got played.
She got played, bro.
I think that Nick should have picked Bella.
she got played, man.
I think Bella got played. That shit was ridiculous.
That's my girl, bro. And I ain't even
I think
like
that
white
Nick,
girls.
you can kind of tell when he made that decision, he kind of turned a little bit pale. Maybe he's just white, but he did turn a little bit whiter.
Bro, when Shorty was like, good job.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
That I was like, what is going on? It felt weird. It felt odd. It came off like he was gonna regret this in the future, because you got to think about it in the long haul, right? In the moment, it sounded fine, etc. But I feel like him and Bella could have built something.
You know why he did it though,
They
right?
could build something.
You know why he did it
Why,
though,
why?
right? Because of how she was moving.
Cause she
was very conservative.
She's conservative, and she wasn't kissing.
She was very
early
conservative,
on.
and then
he wanted more aggressiveness.
Exactly, and then when she did it at that game, he was like, "Oh shit, hold up!" And then he took it to talk, and they started making out and shit like that.
And it's
then
like,
he
oh,
was
it's 50-50.
Oh my god, it's 50-50 now.
But in reality, if he wants a wife, if he wants to lock down, he should be getting with Bella, the conservative, the
bro.
one that's not that protects her body.
Bro.
That's the one you should aim for,
Bro,
right? He fucked up. I think Nick is gonna regret that shit. What else is another crazy storyline right now?
Ace is messy, bro.
Ace is actually was like a streamer or like a TikTok streamer.
Yeah, he does like dancing for like a lot of people. People respect that. He does it for like handicapped people, special ed, this and that. Which
So he
is
has
cool
like
as
he
fuck.
had popularity online before the show.
But he's messy, bro.
Yeah, Ace has been kissing all the girls. He like
Well,
he's interested in all the girls.
Not only that, bro. When he's talking about, he knows that Jeremiah and Huda are like locked in and shit like that. And then they did that thing where they were blindfolded.
Yeah.
And he went and kissed her.
Yeah.
He kissed her. And then when he was talking with Jeremiah, he was talking about like, yeah, this and that. But he hid the fact that he kissed her though.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying?
He did.
And y'all acting like that's your boy and shit like that. Messy, bro.
Yeah.
He's messy.
Yulissa got kicked off the show.
Off the first one.
Off the first one. They're trying to say that it was for her saying the N-word. I'm not. It hasn't been confirmed that that's the reason she got kicked out.
Love Island didn't confirm why, but
Love Island hasn't confirmed that that's the reason
I'm
why.
pretty sure. So, and she lied about her age.
Yeah, the thing is, right, there are Black Cubans, African Cubans. The thing is that with her saying that, I think it wasn't just like, oh, the fact that she said it. I think it's a business decision, right? This is Love Island. The amount of feedback and flack she got on that was wild. Like, it was all over the internet, right? Why would they be like, oh, yeah, she said it, but she apologized. Let's keep her on. They have to make a business decision.
Yes.
They have to take her off because this is the biggest show in the country. There's millions of people watching this shit every day. They have to make a business decision. But at the end of the day, nobody is perfect. And also, they were trying to say rumors. They were trying to do some digging on someone else, like one of the other white boys on there or something.
The white boy, because a lot of the stuff that he's been reposting is kind of like racist.
Yeah, they were saying that one of the white boys on the show, they're trying to say that
think,
he's kind of like conservative.
Jake or whatever the fuck.
And he might be kind of racist.
The one with no lips.
But that's the thing. People are gonna.
You know what?
No one's
You want to know
perfect.
what the thing that confuses me? The cast gets announced before it starts.
Yeah.
Like a couple of days before or something like that, or it gets leaked like a week in
So why
advance
didn't
or
they do the research?
Exactly.
Why didn't the show do the research?
Well, that's the main argument. The main argument is like, they're making fun at that. It's like, who the fuck is picking these people and that they're not doing background checks? That's one. But my thing is like, people waited, or like the production team waited after the first episode to do that to her.
To be honest,
Like, all of that
maybe
shit
Love
popped up
Island
after
did it
the
on
first
purpose.
episode.
Like, it's like they know that controversy sells.
Because like people, I guess, just weren't. I didn't see any bad vibes off her, so I don't see why like they booed it. But like they weren't rocking with her at all, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people also on top of that, I think weren't liking her as a character or like a person on the show.
They said that she looked like Demi Lovato when she laughed.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've been tuned in though with Shawty. We've been watching every episode.
Yeah,
It's been crazy. I'll tell you that much.
we're missing today's episode right now.
You're watching it right now?
No, I was about to. Though.
Oh, I thought you were watching it like on the
Nah,
side.
nah,
I'm like,
nah.
you won't even be able to pay attention. You got to hear that shit.
Nah.
Because the captions be off. But are you guys watching Love Island? If so, leave a comment down below. What has been the craziest moment? This is insane. I forgot that it drops every day.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to keep up with this shit every day.
I'm
I
gonna
love that
watch it
though.
after this.
I love that. It's a cool ass like aspect where you got to keep up with this shit daily. It reminds me of like Big Brother, where like Big Brother has the camera on 24/7. That show, it's a sensation right now. And the people last season was so successful that people were anticipating this season more than ever before because the people from last season were mega stars. Like
People
there's
from last
celebrities
season
all over
blew
the
it fuck
online.
up, bro.
So they're thinking that this season is gonna be the same way. Right? Last year, shout out to Leah. Leah's like
girl.
a fucking damn near like a Kardashian. Like
She is
the
Love
brand
Island.
deals are
She
insane.
Is Love Island.
Yeah, the brand deals are insane. They're making millions of dollars.
She's doing commercial with like Jose Cuervo.
Yeah, commercials. And to be honest, bro, I was buying underwear the other day on Amazon, and I'm scrolling, and the guy modeling the underwear is Jeremiah.
Oh, for real?
And then today on IG, I was looking at like I think it was like watches or something like on an ad, and it was Jeremiah. And I'm like, this guy's everywhere.
Yeah, he's doing like a chain commercial. And
Yeah,
stuff
like these
that.
guys
I
have
saw
all
that.
types, they have ads. Like this guy's all over the fucking place.
Kayla and Janae are doing Maybelline. They're doing those commercials, like makeup shit.
But I'm talking about even Jeremiah, because Jeremiah's on the show on the new season.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's already like making a bag off modeling. Like imagine now after this. Oh my god!
Mhm.
Especially because all the girls like him. Like oh shit. Amaya's laugh. Oh my god. Amaya has the worst laugh, bro.
Oh yeah, even she makes fun of
That
it.
laugh is horrible. But
Yeah.
it's cute, it's innocent. But that shit is horrible at the same time.
Her innocent act pisses me off though.
Her eyes,
Her innocent act
innocent act. No, I think she's like that.
annoys the fuck out of me.
I think she's like that. She's from New
You're-
York.
You're not that kiddish, especially being from New York.
I don't know.
Nah, you're
I
not
think she
that
could
kiddish.
be.
Nah.
She could be.
And
Maybe she's
a-
not. Maybe she lives there, but
and-
maybe she's not from
and
there.
She's a nurse. You can't trust nurses, nigga.
Nah, but nurses, you know,
Nah, bro.
they go through a lot, bro.
Nah.
They've seen it all. I think she's solid. But my thing is like I don't know
like her.
what relationship. I don't think Ace and her are gonna work. I think it's gonna be
Bro, but the moment anyone else shows up, Ace is gonna jump on that.
if Hudda didn't have a child, I would say that Hudda and Jeremiah are gonna win Love Island. But with the child aspect and the way that she's so jealous and like gets emotional already, I know that's not it's not gonna end well. When it comes to the what's that shit called again? The island that they do the
Casa Amor.
when they do Casa Amor and they do the Casa Amor and Hudda. When they send Jeremiah to
Yo,
Casa Amor,
like,
Hudda is gonna have a heart
she's gonna-
attack
yeah,
on
yeah,
camera.
100%.
This shit is gonna be mayhem.
They gotta bring. I'm sorry. Obviously, you know they pick beautiful women and stuff like that, but like these last two that they brought in were like, Amaya is cool.
You're bugging, bro.
Amaya is cool.
Nah, they're
the
both beautiful.
the Blanquita,
The white girl's beautiful.
Hannah.
Oh yeah, she has
hell
sex
no.
appeal, bro.
No, the fuck she doesn't.
100%.
Hell no.
100%.
Hell no. Hannah.
100%.
Fuck no, bro.
100%.
Hell no. Hannah ain't got shit, bro.
I think they purposely.
Hannah's the next one they gotta get booted.
I do wish that they put more like thicker people and realistic. Like put some fat people. Like more. I think isn't it like majority America
Yeah,
fat? Whatever the case may
if
be.
you notice though, they are switching it up because look, they were very open about Shelly being
being
bi,
gay,
being
being
gay,
bi.
being bi.
they never said that before.
No,
on
that
Love
was
Island.
like getting pushed a lot.
Yeah, Shelly on Love Island says she's interested in women too, but she hasn't been interested in any woman on the island yet. But she might. It might be a random plot twist. And on top of that, we do have Hudda being a mother. I think that's the first time there was like a mother on Love Island. Like I think it was always single people. I don't
I
remember
think
like
so.
a single mother being on Love Island with a 4-year-old, 5-year-old child. I don't remember that.
4-year-old, Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? What's your predictions on the future of this? Welcome
I'm
to Love
invested.
Island.
I'm invested.
I'm fully invested in Love Island right now. Are you kidding me, bro? What? Let's do this segment. Let's do it. So we have a special guest right now. Let's bring him in. Noel, let's bring him in. Bring him in. Let's bring him in. Let's set him up right now. This is Councilman John Gonzalez. Let's sit him down. No, I don't think so. But for context, I'll say right here. So there's a major controversy happening right now. This Councilman John Gonzalez from Providence, Rhode Island, made a post with Bhad Bhabie, giving her a citation. after she performed here in the city. He's here to respond to the backlash and the feedback he's gotten. He's here in the studio. And on top of that, we do have a message from Bhad Bhabie. Right? Bhad Bhabie herself left a new message. Bhad Bhabie said on the TikTok account, she said that I love Rhode Island. She told me, I love Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
Because people were saying, hey, she doesn't deserve it, etc., which I agree. But I personally wasn't knocking her. She's saying that she loves Rhode Island.
I love her.
I think what she's trying to say also is like, yo, like, I'll be back. Like, it's not, she's trying to make it, she's making it apparent to me that she is not fully unaware of the state. She's not delusional. She's not like, oh, I'll never be back again. A lot of these rappers and artists that come through here, they think, oh, it's just like, they confuse us for Massachusetts. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think it's just another money, another bag.
What was
She's
she
saying
doing
she
here
loves
again?
Rhode Island.
What was she doing again?
She was doing like a hosting / performing,
Okay.
you know, at a club here in Providence.
I wanted to go.
So it's a part of it. It's a part of it. We're gonna set them up there. Does that camera look fine?
Which one?
The one with
Hold
both
on,
with
the
both of them.
The fucking chat froze here.
Chat froze. Let me see. Make sure the stream's
no,
up.
no, it's up.
Okay,
It just froze on over here and.
Okay, because you never know. BT might chime in and just take this down, but we should be good.
OBS. Now it's working.
Yeah, bring him in. So next to you right there. Or if you want to swap with him, however you want to do it. Swap with him. Have him sit there. We have him in the building.
Wait, you want me to sit over here?
Is that cool?
No, we need him Noah on the mic. So you got to sit over here. You sit right here, John.
Straight, I'll sit over
Yeah, this is how we always do it. So John's gonna sit over here, and then Noah's gonna sit next to him right there. Gotta make sure they get mic'd up. Right here. Let's adjust it.
Okay. That
My
jersey's
bad.
fire, bro.
Appreciate it. This is shout out to Willie, Rhode Island brand, phase on the body. Yeah, you could just move it fully if you need to. Looks good. Yes, sir. Now put the other camera real quick, Marlon, please.
We live or we off?
Maybe zoom out a little bit. Yeah, sure.
We are live. We are live. Okay. Again, welcome to the studio, John. First time here. John Gonzalez in the building. Man, this has been long awaited. I told you it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. The circumstances, though, obviously didn't predict it to be these type of circumstances. But just for background, tell the people who you are and what you do for those who don't know who are watching.
All right. Well, first I want to say thanks for having me because, yeah, it's a long time coming. We've been meaning to do this for a long time. And I'm John Gonsalves. I represent Ward 1 in the city of Providence. So that's the neighborhoods of Fox Point, Wayland Square, College Hill, the Jewelry District, and downtown. And I'm a Providence guy. I appreciate Providence. I love Providence. This is a city that I grew up in, city that I was born and raised in. Shout out to Fox Point. That's where I grew up. And I'm just fighting for the people. That's what we do.
100%. So John, right? John made a controversial post June 1st, Bhad Bhabie, and the internet has eaten them up locally. People are voicing their frustrations, right? And like I told him also, I personally understand that there's a lot of more important and significant issues locally happening that we've highlighted here that people should care about more, but they might not have as much as a feedback and outreach and outcry on social media to the level that they did with this. And in my opinion, I think it's because people of Providence really care about the culture of Providence, and they care about the name Providence. Anything that gets Providence attached to it, if they feel like it's misrepresented, they go off. Like, we're very passionate people about our city, about our name, our reputation. We're very passionate. The most similar thing to me that came off the top of my mind was, like, I remember when the mayor announced the first time the changes to PBD Fest. And I was talking about it. I was calling her mom, like, I don't agree with these changes. Online, it was the same level of like outcry. People were like, oh my God, like, why would they do that? They feel like there's something that is misproperly representing them. Same with the Bhad Bhabie citation, right? And to some extent, I think it's definitely getting blown out of proportion. But people have the right to their opinion. So now we have John here responding. So what is your take and what is your response now to the people of Providence after facing the backlash from giving the citation and also the post of the citation and everything that's followed after?
Yeah, so I agree with you 100%. And at the end of the day, if you go to my Instagram, John G PVD, I actually put together a video to explain it. So at the end of the day, promoter calls me up and he says, yo, I got Bhad Bhabie coming into town and I got another artist coming into town too. Can we get them citations?
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't listen to Bhad Bhabie. I don't rock with Bhad Bhabie. She's not my cup of tea. I'm a Providence guy. So at the end of the day, Bhad Bhabie does not resonate with me. I grew up on Jay-Z, Nas, Dipset. You know, the things that resonate with people in Providence are the same things that resonate with me. Like, if you're listening to Gunna right now, I understand that. Like, I understand hip-hop culture. If you listen to Thug, if you listen to Dolph, if you listen to Glorilla, right? Like, I think these are people, like when you think about Memphis, for example, these are people who are doing great work in their relative markets, and they're actually putting their cities on the map. That's the way that I look at my relationship with Providence. How do we bring our artists together so that way we are putting them on a map and also giving them the platform to blow up and also show what Providence is all about. Yeah. And at the end of the day, when it comes to, I'm going to go back to the citation, told me to give her the citation. It was actually interesting because I think the second artist, her name was Anna Mac, maybe.
Okay,
it was that same weekend.
Okay, yes.
So I actually have the citation. I can show it to you.
Show us. You have the Anna Mac one?
Yeah.
Let's see the Anna Mac. Anna Mac is
actually
from Baddies. She's from Baddies.
I never gave it to her because I couldn't make that one.
Okay.
So here it is, right?
Anna Mac. Yep.
So basically the way it works is when someone wants a citation, they'll reach out. I mean, like, I just had a principal of an elementary school reach out to me today and say, hey, I want you to speak at the graduation. Can you give the 5th graders citations? Right? So I then call up my office and say, hey, I've got a list of kids that I want to give these citations to. And then in the city of Providence, it's called the clerk's office. So the clerks put together the citations, you know, they put the Post-it notes on it and all that 100%. Stuff. And then we bring them to the event. So he asked if I would do it, and I was no skin off my back, like, sure. Like, she's showing Providence love that night. I'm going to go ahead and give her a citation. It basically said, thank you for coming to Providence. Thank you for touching down in our city. And he was like, oh, well, like, come to the show. Shout out to Culture, Jermaine. That's where they were having the show that night. There were about 500 people there. And again, it's not my scene. I don't resonate with her music, but there were clearly 500, 600 people from Providence who rock with Bhad Bhabie.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yo, just give it to her on stage and just say, like, thank you for coming to the city of Providence. She was so touched by it that, in fact, she posted it on her social media. And I'm not sure how many followers she has, but I think she has, like,
I think millions.
Couple million.
Yeah.
So it instantly went viral. And, you know, she said, like, thank you with, like, a heart emoji or something like that. And then everyone was like, what? Why would you give a citation to Bhad Bhabie? You got so much talent in the city. How come we haven't gotten our flowers? And me being a real Providence guy, I was like, wait, hold on. Because, like, people like to judge. They like to come up with their own conclusions about what's actually happening.
Yeah.
And I got the receipts. I can pull up every single citation I've given. I've given hundreds of citations at this point, and I've given a lot of artist citations as well. even
Locally.
locally. I mean, like, so when people are like, how come you didn't give one to John Hope, or how come you didn't give one to Ty Cooper, how come you haven't given one to, I don't know, DJ Ruckus, or, you know, DJ Franchise, how come you haven't given one to Nice Hits, whoever it is in Providence, right? Like, and I know these guys. I've known these guys for years because I'm a Providence guy. And it's like, well, actually, we have given one to John Hope. I just gave one to Ty Cooper.
Yeah.
I mean, I can run down the list and talk about all the artists that we have given citations to. And I'm so plugged into the culture that, like, I can tell you that I know about people like Euro, and I know about people like, you know, even if you go way back, you know, Young Jinsu, for example. Remember when he was popping?
100%.
Jay Deuce, right? Like, so
Mhm.
you're gonna get a lot of people who come at your neck, and then they're gonna say, how come you haven't given us our flowers? But it's like, no, I have been given flowers, and if you haven't gotten your flowers yet, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I posted, because I knew it was gonna rub people the wrong way. When I reposted what Bhad Bhabie posted, I wrote in the comments, and this is probably why it also went viral. I was like, list 50 artists in the city that you feel like we should be giving flowers to.
Yeah.
People who've been in the city doing work for a long time, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, and people who are doing recent work. So look at D Gomes, look at Cam Bells, look at, you know, King OSF.
Yeah.
And this is kind of interesting to me because a lot of people will write Bhad Bhabie off and say, this is some culture vulture. She's she's the girl who's on Dr. Phil, Catch Me Outside. But if I applied that same logic to, let's say, people who had a rough childhood here in the city of Providence, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to write them off because they had a rough childhood or they had tough circumstances growing up, then wouldn't that defeat the purpose, right? Like, imagine how many people like really come from the mud in our city, and they're trying to do the best that they can creatively to get their music out, to touch people in their lives, and people rock with it, right?
Yeah.
And just because they're, let's say, rapping about a specific topic, or they're making music that might make a certain group or faction of our society feel uncomfortable, does that mean that is wrong?
Yeah.
No, I would venture to say that that's who we are culturally. And when we think about things like PVD Fest, I actually think PVD Fest in many ways isn't really reflective of Providence. And the reason why I say that is because we have so much talent, specifically on the hip hop side, but how many of our own artists have the opportunity to rock that stage? And how are we putting our own artists on as a city? Because I would venture to say that it's very much it's very much, I want to be careful about how I say this, but I would say watered down.
Mhm.
Because let's say King OSF, right? If he wanted a PVD stage, and I'm an elected official. I'm a part of the institution of the city of Providence, right? So you might say, like, what? Well, how come you're not using your voice to make that happen? Because there's a lot of decision makers. I'm not the sole decision maker. I would arguably say, you know, the mayor and the director of ACT, like, they are the final decision makers when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I'm in the legislative branch of government, not the executive branch, and I would say that a lot of people might say, oh, well, that might make a lot of people feel uncomfortable, so maybe we should go a different route or do something that, like, families are going to really enjoy in Providence. And I get that too, right? We have different demographics, and we should be ensuring that we're reflecting all of those demographics, but we shouldn't also hide the things that make Providence what it is. Providence is a majority minority city.
Yeah.
I think the people who are living on the south side should have just as much culture reflected in a PVD fest as the people who live on the east side. And I represent the east side. And the reason why I can say that is because I'm a real Providence guy. Like at my core, yes, although I represent a very affluent neighborhood and I represent a constituency that's actually majority white, I can be in the room and have these kinds of conversations because, like, I went to Providence Public Schools. Like, I know these people, and I know what Providence is really made of, and how vibrant of a city we really are.
So, John, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you believe that the mayor of Providence cares about black and brown culture and art?
That's not for me to opine on. I think it goes back to I don't make this the same way that I wouldn't appreciate people making judgments about me, which is what a lot of people did, right? Like I had a lot of people in the comments from Burville and Newport and all these other cities and towns saying clown, cornball, and I was like, what? I'm from Providence. Like if you're from Coventry, don't tell me about hip hop in Providence. At the end of the day, but I'm not here to judge anybody, right? I think if you just, and maybe this is just like my training as not only as an educator, but as someone who, like I went to Brown for undergrad and grad school, and one of the things that I studied, was education and human development, and one thing that always stuck with me is the fact that we all come from different cultural and social contexts that make us who we are. So if you grow up in an inner city, in an urban neighborhood, your worldview is going to be vastly different than someone who lives in suburbia. That doesn't make your perspective any less valid or more important than anyone else. It's just you're both exposed to different cultural and social backgrounds that make you who you are.
But John, this is my problem with this situation.
Yeah.
If I read between what you're saying here, it sounds like it's the mayor's decision to allow certain things to happen at PVD Fest on an executive level.
Yeah.
PVD Fest, for those who don't know, is a major thing for artists. It allows them to be showcased and allows us to bring certain artists because they have a massive budget when we're talking about that event. From what you're saying, it sounds like it's the mayor's decision. The mayor is not putting on people of color on the scale that a lot of people feel like he should be. This is something we vocalized for many years. And to top that off, the mayor has recently been getting backfire because he tried to remove an entire skating park to expand. What center was it? It was a performing
Trinity Rep.
Trinity Rep, which is it's run and it frequents a lot of white people, affluent people. So it leaves us to assume this guy doesn't care about us. And it sounds like you're kind of saying that. You just don't want to come outright and say it, that he is not in support of this culture.
I won't. So the reason why I'm approaching it the way that I approach it is because people make a lot of assumptions about the decisions that we make as elected officials.
But beyond you, I'm talking about the mayor.
Yeah, no, but I'm getting at that. Yeah. Our jobs are very, very complicated. We have to make a lot of decisions.
Okay.
And I don't think people really realize, we're operating a $624 million budget.
Yeah.
People don't even know what a council person does. Like, if you want to really know, it's like I probably work 24/7, like 80, 90 hours a week reading documents. Look at this. Like, I have it on the table, right? Like, we're going through a budget season, and it's not that simple to just say like, oh, well, a person feels this way or this way, because I don't really know their heart. Now, can I say I disagree with some of the decisions that other elected officials make? Absolutely.
You disagree with the mayors?
So I'll give you a perfect example. When the mayor, and I actually, I bit my tongue on this for a long time, but then I eventually was like, there's too many people out there who were talking about this, like moving PVD Fest, right? Like that was a perfect example. If it's not broke, why are you trying to fix it? And why would you move something that's been successful? And why would you change that? And I have a relationship with the mayor. So, you know, if I needed to like get that off my chest, I could just pick up the phone and say, Mayor Smiley, with all due respect, I disagree with this decision.
Okay.
And that's the thing, right? Like some people approach things very differently. There's some people who will be on Twitter and tweet. To me, that's not an effective strategy, right? Because if I can just pick up the phone and call you and say, I don't rock with your decision, I don't need to publicly blast you about it.
Of course.
And I think that you got to pick and choose some of your battles, right? So it's like, if there's something that I really don't like, I've got a listserv with 20,000 people on it. Every time I send out a newsletter to my constituents, it goes out to 20,000 people. And I state what my opinions are. So if I disagree with some of my colleagues or I disagree with the mayor, I let it be known. Perfect example is I don't support property tax increases right now. And the reason why I say that is because you've got a lot of people who are elderly on a fixed income, because I'm from Providence and I know that, like who let's say bought property in Fox Point or anywhere in the city, and they're getting priced out of their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
That literally there's so many people in our city right now who are being gentrified. The housing crisis is real. And my job is to figure out what are the policies that need to happen in order to rectify some of the challenges that we're experiencing as a city. And that's because I care deeply about my neighbors. I want to make sure that, you know, that elderly person on a fixed income isn't priced out of her property. I want to make sure that, like, the people who I grew up with in Fox Point who are been long gone and displaced from that neighborhood, they have an opportunity to, if they're still in that neighborhood and they're like hanging on by a thread because property taxes keep going up, that we protect those people, but also we're building more affordable housing. We're holding developers accountable to building more affordable housing, so that way we're addressing some of the issues that are plaguing our city. And my lens on this is, I came from that world, right? So like, I grew up in a single parent immigrant household, right? Like my mom had to work really hard, sometimes 2 to 3 jobs. There were times where, yeah, we were on things like food stamps and, you know, had to rely on things like Section 8 housing, right? And that's a real experience for a lot of people in the city. And this goes back to like the cultural and social like lenses that you bring to the table. Like the reason why I fight so hard for people in our city is because I understand what that's like. I understand what it's like to go to bed hungry and to suffer from like food insecurity.
Yeah.
Right? Like I understand what it's like to have a whole community completely gentrified from that community, because every single person that I grew up with, whether they were, Cape Verdean, Portuguese, or Irish, the immigrants in my community that I grew up with, they're completely gone. Like I'm literally like the last, I'm one of the last people standing.
Yeah, and John, and this is my thing. I fully understand what you're talking about. For people who don't know, I was the field director. For
Oh
John's
yeah,
campaign.
and actually,
yeah,
can I give you a big shout out for this? Because like this dude, and this is real Providence, right? Like we used to call him and Jason Royce the Dragon Slayers.
God bless.
Because no, real talk. Because and this is where I give so much credit to even a guy like him, because like I wouldn't have been in my seat if it weren't for like this guy.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Like the number of doors that we knocked. And even in my first election, right? Like we won that race with 60% of the vote.
Yeah, because the other two candidates were a joke. God bless their hearts.
No. But
and we
but-
worked
but-
hard. And we worked
yeah,
hard.
Yeah, but at
we
the end
worked
of the
hard.
day, don't forget
Yeah.
what we were up against, right?
Yeah, it was.
We were
me-
up against a real estate.
Yeah.
A real estate guy in like a business investor who owns like nightclubs in the city.
And they had a lot of money. It was
And they
30,000 between the two. But this is my thing.
No.
John.
They outspent us 4-1.
Yeah. No,
we
they
got
cooked it.
we got outspent and outraised 4-1.
And I remember
and we
when
won
you
with
had an event.
60% of the vote. But the reason why we won with 60% of the vote is because like we're really out here, right? Like the people in my community know who I am.
Yeah, but John, this is my
Yeah,
thing. I
yeah.
fully remember when Nasty showed up to your event, your fundraiser event. Like
Yeah, Jay Nasty?
Yeah, you are from
Shout
the
out to
community.
Stay Silent, by the
Yeah.
way.
And this is my thing. We don't have to go like I know what you are to Fox Point. I know what you've been to Fox Point. My thing is this. Let's talk about what you are capable of doing.
Yeah.
The legislative branch.
Yeah.
You help decide the budget. $1.8 million of the budget going solely to arts and tourism. This is what John brought so we can see. And 30% of that going to salaries is ridiculous and it's offensive. And this is why I'm frustrated with a lot of the people on the internet who are saying, oh, I should get a citation or this person should get a citation. That is such a low bar for you to be asking for. That is not enough. This is a disgusting budget. You should be getting tax credits. You should be getting money from the city. And it is people like John who I feel, and it's not just you. I love the council. I know a lot of people in the council. I think a lot of you have not done anything for arts and tourism. I think a lot of you have not done enough for the city when it comes to this subject. And my question to you is, how do you justify this? And how do you justify what you and the rest of the council have done in this conversation? Because a lot of people on the internet are asking for citations, but people who are actually in the field and watching this, because I had a conversation with a local rapper about this a couple of days ago. He agreed with me. We need to be advocating for money, for spaces, for resources, for a larger portion of this budget.
But that's why I'm here because look, a lot of politicians when they get heat, they don't try to engage the community.
Yeah.
They double down and they're like, I made the decision. I don't need to prove myself to anybody. What I did was very differently. I was like, okay, a lot of people in their feelings. I get it. I know why people are salty. A lot of people are salty because they feel like they haven't gotten their flowers, but also because they feel like a city hasn't invested in them. And I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. So if I were in the executive branch of government, I would do things differently.
But what would you do as a legislator?
So as a legislator, I'll tell you what I already do, right? Like I've been the lead sponsor on dozens of pieces of legislation, right? So like pieces of legislation that I passed, last fiscal year I brought $40 million back to my community.
But I mean,
hang on, but
arts
like,
and tourism.
But, all right, but like that is part of arts and tourism, right? Like one of the line items that I was able to bring back to my community was $2.2 million of investment to India Point Park, right? So when Jay Nasty and Sabrina and Stay Silent do their events at India Point Park, they don't have to deal with like, you know all that dusty, like the rough patches down there in India Point Park. We like completely paved that, made it ADA accessible. Everyone in the city can benefit from that as an amenity. $1 million to Cabral Park. We brought $650,000 to Gano Park. $30 million to Vartan Gregorian Elementary School. That's my alma mater. So you're talking about real resources.
Yeah.
And that's my job at the local level. My job is to bring resources back to my district to make sure we're building parks, playgrounds, we're improving the quality of life for the people who live in those neighborhoods because we want everybody to thrive. And that's what I do as a legislator. So we're responsible for passing a budget.
Yeah.
But I also I write laws. So like again, dozens of my laws are on the books because I'm a very active policymaker. When it comes to arts, culture, and tourism, I would agree. So like if it were up to me, if I were the person who was solely in charge of PVD Fest, and again, I think, the legislative body has some authority in this, but really it comes down to the executive branch of government. What I would do is I would have like 5 or 6 different stages hip hop, rock, EDM, pop, something for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's representative of Providence, right? Like, not everybody listens to the same kind of music. Not everyone likes the same kind of format or genre. And what I would do is I would actually try to monetize it so that we're not just taking a loss as a city. Because right now, and this is part of the problem with PVD Fest, is we pay a lot of money for police detail, fire. So it's basically, because it's bringing in tourists, we generate some revenue on the back end, but we don't charge for ticket fees or anything. So we're not like most of it, like we're eating, right? Like we're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to put on a production, and we're not, like, no one's paying for it. But I think, like, we could replicate a South by Southwest where we bring in really big artists like a Future on the hip hop stage, a Gunna on the hip hop stage, Lil Wayne, J. Cole, whoever you think it should be, right?
I think Lil Wayne would make perfect sense because we have Euro is Lil Wayne's artist.
Yeah, there we go.
Euro's from Providence. He can make that connection, get Lil Wayne here.
Yeah.
So what can
hang on,
we also do have the new stadium that got built in
exactly
Pawtucket.
Well, we want it in Providence, right?
But,
so this is where we would advocate for Providence, but
the South by Southwest will be like a multi
multi-city thing.
You know what I'm saying? Within the same state.
So how
But
how do the people of the city get this to happen?
Well, let me get to the second phase of that, because I think, like, imagine if we had those big headliners or those big artists come into our city, right?
Yeah.
That puts Providence on the map. How many people go to South by Southwest who aren't from that area, right? Like, they're getting regional dollars, they're getting national dollars. But I think the other piece is, instead of having those artists be the last to perform, I would actually have them open up for the artists that we're trying to put on in our city. And you know what I would also do, and this goes back to, like, my connection to, like, the music industry and all that stuff too, and understanding that industry, I would call up, because if you're a mayor, you have a lot of, or just, like, elected official in general, like, you could probably make a lot of things happen. I would basically direct my staff to say, all right, I want us to call as many A&Rs that we can from the music industry. Universal Music Group, let's get Warner here, let's get, the subsidiary labels, Atlantic, Republic, let's get all these labels, let's get A&Rs into our city. And let's have them watch the talent that we're bringing into our city. Just think about what that would do for the city of Providence, because if we get one person to pop, whether it's flawless, whether it's, but, like, really pop, like, I'm talking like Taylor Swift pop, where we get someone who becomes a national, international sensation, that's good for Providence, because they're going to, in their music, probably mention Providence. Like, when you think about Dolph, when you think about Glorilla, when you think about Gotti, when you think about...
Yeah, they have a big regional push.
Yeah, but those are all artists from Memphis, right? So when you think about Atlanta, T.I., Outkast, you're talking about Thug, Gunna, Migos, right? Future. All those artists could say, like, that's where I'm from. You build that ecosystem of really talented artists, and when they make music and when they pop, what do? They put other people on.
Yeah.
Thug put on Gunna, so on and so forth, right? Gotti put on Moneybagg Yo, Glorilla, for example, who in her songs will say, I'm from Memphis, what you know about me, right? I want that for Providence. Imagine people saying, like, I'm from Providence. What you know about us?
But this is my frustration, John. I agree with what you're saying, but it feels like the city is just talking because you're saying all of that.
Well,
but there's no spaces.
I'm only one
You're
person.
only one person. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying in general. The city talks very big about the things they want to do, but there's no money, there's no resources being backed by that. At the end of the day, this is a capitalist society. That is how things move. So you're not going to tell me that you value me as an artist and you want to cultivate a space for artists,
I
but
agree.
you are giving tax breaks to multi-billion-dollar corporations that have no relationship to this city because you think that they're better business partners than the people who have been giving to this city for the last 20 to 25 years through their art.
I 100% agree.
So this is my frustration. It's like, what are the tangible things we can do to create an environment where people can actually come, cultivate, create, and actually try to build up artists that they can put on, and we can have that type of culture like you have in New York, in Memphis.
I agree.
Also,
but we didn't even talk about New York too. Like, think about everyone who came out of New York. But so, and New York's right there. Like, even artists who are coming out from Boston, like Millie or like
so how do we make that happen here? That's my question.
Joyner, right?
Yeah.
Like, so this goes back to like, because you showed this earlier, and I think that I'm so glad we're having this conversation because this is what I want. What I want people to know. I want people to be educated. If we brought the same kind of energy that we brought to the comments about Bhad Bhabie getting a citation into City Hall, I guarantee you things would change. Right now we're negotiating the budget. So basically the way that works is, and I'm on the council leadership, so like we sit down with the mayor and we have conversations about what are our priorities as a city, what do we need to spend our money on, and we negotiate that.
Yeah.
Actually, and it's the council. The council holds the purse. So it's similar to Congress where it's the legislative branch of government that controls the purse, and it's the executive branch and also makes the laws. And it's the executive branch of government that enforces the laws, but also carries out what's in the budget. And the staff kind of report to the executive branch of government, but we all work together, right? Like if I needed someone to fix a sidewalk or fill a pothole, I call up the director of DPW and say, there's a constituent who has an issue on my street, and like, then they take care of it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how government works. But I think, to your point, the people who show up end up getting the resources. So I sit on a committee called CBDG, and this fiscal year, we issued $5.1 million to various organizations across the city of Providence. $5.1 million. That's not chump change. That's a lot of money.
It's more than that budget.
It's so but it goes to various organizations in the city, right? And they go through a process. So we had tens of millions in requests, but we had to basically make a decision about which organizations would get this $5.1 million that we need to allocate. And of course, we give it to organizations like Amos House. We gave $150,000 to an organization called Design X, and that's actually a space that cultivates creatives and artists in our city. But these are organizations that have executive directors that know how to work government. They know how to lobby. They know how to make calls to their elected officials and advocate for whatever it is that they want. They know how to, do all the paperwork that's required to be a part of that process. And I think this is where we as a collective, like if we don't like how things are going, we can't just, use our energy for trying to throw shade at like, oh, well, I don't think this person should get it. Like that's in my opinion, it's like a bunch of, it's not the mentality that we should have where it's like, I guess like, I don't want to say this personally, but I like someone just mentioned, like, it feels like just like this crab in a
barrel
mentality. In a barrel mentality. And I don't want to say that because I know like Providence is better than that, but we have to unify. Like if we actually, and this is why, like, I don't understand why people aren't more actively involved and engaged in their politics, because if they don't like something or if they don't like their elected official, they could easily vote them out.
No, listen, I agree with that.
Again, like a minority city.
Yeah.
the problem is there's so many people who don't exercise their right to vote. The problem is when we're having deliberations about our budget, we're just hearing from
Lobbyists.
no, not even lobbyists. We hear from mostly white affluent individuals who know to go to City Hall and testify for whatever it is that they're trying to advocate for. Our community, and I get it, right? So our community very much feels, and this is where we have to do a better job in government too. There's so many people in our community, particularly communities of color, who feel like City Hall, the State House, that's not for me. And I get that. If you're working 2 to 3 jobs, you don't have time to go to City Hall to testify about, this thing or that thing. You're just trying to put food on your table. But I think that's where government could do so much better. And I think it is our responsibility. We have to meet people where they are. So if that means like we're on Broad at 2 o'clock in the morning by a chimney truck because that's where people are, then that's where we need to be. We can't expect people to go to City Hall when they're already so inundated with everything else that comes with their day-to-day life and the day-to-day struggles of living in an inner city like Providence.
Yeah.
They don't have time for that. But as a result, the people that we often hear from are the most privileged people, and the people who we don't hear from are the people who are a part of our community, and that really saddens me.
So what can we do to hear their voice? Because this is my thing. If you're aware that there's barriers and there's obstacles for them to come out and speak to you, how do we go out and hear their voices? Because they're clearly upset with you about the decision you made.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. When I first seen it, I'm like, I get why this is corny, but I also understand you're trying to create.
I think she's corny too.
Yeah,
Like,
but
and by the way, she followed me on Instagram, and I still posted that because I don't.
You follow her back, John?
You
Do
follow her
you
back,
follow her
John?
back?
Yeah, I follow her. Well, she followed me first, and I was like, all right, whatever. But so
you followed her back?
she probably
Yeah.
but she probably saw it. If she unfollows me, like, I don't care because like I don't listen to Bhad Bhabie. Like I'm not.
Because of the post and everything.
Yeah. So
Well, for an update, also, Bhad Bhabie did leave a comment on my post yesterday. So she said that she loves Rhode Island. She said, "I love Rhode Island."
dope.
So that's
And-
a Bhad Bhabie message, new update from Bhad Bhabie. So she's saying, basically, what I'm taking from Bhad Bhabie's response is basically like, hey, even though people might be upset or also might be questioning my love for Rhode Island, she just stated she loves Rhode Island. Because
Dope.
there are some people that
I love that.
could care less about
Exactly.
the city. They're just here for the bag, etc. So she's trying to say like, hey, she actually appreciates the fact that she even got acknowledgement. Even if people like me still disagree with her getting that citation, she is reminding them like, hey, I love Rhode Island.
And that's
I
why-
because she probably was just
Yeah, that's-
innocently looking at it from the perspective of like, hey, this is the city I'm performing at. They're showing me love. Not every city does this for me.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, this is fire. I, like many people, was looking at it like, hey, especially I'm more tapped in, so I know she releases music. I know she's an artist. But objectively speaking, most people know her from being disrespectful to her mother and going viral because of Dr. Phil. So they see her, they're like, oh, that's the Cash Me Outside girl. Why is this white girl who disrespected her mother and went viral and became a multi-millionaire and has
Can I say something about this
OnlyFans
real quick, though?
But let me say this
so
real
I don't
quick,
forget.
just to get it out. And then also they see it, they're looking at it from that perspective, and then they see her receive this award, right? And it's just the optics completely.
Yeah,
Objectively speaking,
agreed.
race alone, you see this white girl and this black man that represents the city. It just looks like, wait, what's going on? So that's where the outcry
It's
is.
a disconnect.
The-
Yeah.
So the disconnect happens there. So I think that it was a mistake. It was a mistake that you shouldn't have done because
And I
because of just
apologize
the
for that
optics
too.
of it. Because
yeah.
the optics of it in general, it gives off something that I'm hoping and I'm praying that you aren't, obviously a representation of, because you've said and you have given proof, and I know this, you've awarded citations to people from this city already. The same people that people were tagging in the comments, oh, give an award to this person. John has done this already. along with other council members, they have given these people, these artists in the city, citations. Now everyone wants one, etc. That's a different conversation. I feel like there needs to be qualifications. It can't just because
Yeah.
it can't be just because I make music, I should just get one.
Yeah.
And I'm from here. No, that's not.
And can I talk about that
shouldn't
too?
be the point of this at all.
So you're raising so many interesting points and making me think about so many different things. So with regard to the citation, again, it was no skin off my back. If you were offended by that, seriously, like, and you're a real Providence artist, I apologize. I can be vulnerable enough and take 100% responsibility because you're right. She's like, if we were ranking her with other like hip hop artists, like she gets an F. Like I'm okay with saying that. If she watches this too, like I'm fine with that. And I'm not, no disrespect, right? Like I just personally don't rock with her, but there were 500 people at that show who were really excited and when
sold out.
And when we gave her the citation, those people were like, wow, that's amazing. She also felt really appreciative of the gesture, and that's a good thing because when she comes back to this market, and I like, if we want to get deep, right? I know Craig Kalman, who's the CEO of Atlantic Records. I'm a Brown alum. Craig Kalman, look him up. He's the CEO of Atlantic Records. The CEO.
And she signed to Atlantic?
She signed to Atlantic.
Okay, yeah.
So like you know, Craig Kalman's a power player in the industry. I've known him for like over a decade. So like if you're trying to get signed, like I know some of these people, right? Like Avery and Monty Littman, look them up. Republic Records. Like these are executives that I literally have, like I can pull out my phone right now. I met J. Cole like 10 years ago. I'm not even kidding you. Like I can pull out my phone right now.
Yeah.
Like I have Cole's number in my phone. I like and like I got receipts. Like you could see, look.
But John, this is where
am I making this up?
No, I understand.
No, look.
But John, this is where I get frustrated with you.
Me.
You have all this understanding of the industry, you know, these connections. Why are we not doing more for the city when it comes to this type of stuff?
So let me finish. I think where I was gonna get at is when she comes into this market, or just is in the area, or any artist for that matter, even if it's not Bhad Bhabie, let's just remove her from the equation. My goal is that they say, you know what? We usually go to New York, we go to Boston, we go to maybe Connecticut, we skip Providence. I want her to say, you know what? Or anybody for that matter.
Yeah.
That city showed me so much love that we can't skip over them. We need to go back there.
But do you think a citation is the right thing? Because you did it with Boss Man, it got outraged.
Yeah.
I think that
people are upset. It's the same thing for that. And actually, it was the same promoter that asked me, like, yo, pull up and do this.
Yeah,
right?
for context, for those who don't know, Boss Mandilo, rapper Boss Mandilo, came to the city and performed, and he received a citation from John because he says the promoter also connected him to, he wanted to give the Boss Mandilo citation. Did everyone that night get a citation? I think so. Like 41, the group received the citation.
Yeah, we gave all of them citations.
Glorilla received the citation, and Boss Mandilo received the citation.
And by the way,
but the Boss Mandilo, real quick for context, one went viral because he posted it on his story after someone tagged him saying, I think one of his boys or someone a part of the crew was like, he got the key, he got the key to Providence, right? But it was just a citation. So then people posted everywhere, oh my God, Boss Mandilo got the key to the city of Providence. Why? What the hell's going on? But then that also goes back to the misrepresentation as far as the optics, right? Boss Mandilo probably didn't know what the fuck he got.
He didn't.
so that's the problem. So I feel like there should be a case where like it shouldn't just be about like handing them it. It's like, hey, breaking it down. Hey, this is this means that. That way they don't leave with the impression of like, oh shit, I got the key to the city. Because even Bhad Bhabie, she's probably never gotten a citation from any city. Maybe her own city that she's from.
Yeah.
So she gets it from here.
You're
she's
right.
looking at it like, what? Oh wow, like I love Rhode Island. I got a key to the city from Rhode Island. I got an honor to Rhode Island. But then it's like, no. It shouldn't be that. I think the solution here could be, like I told you on the phone, off record, I think that there should be something that gets created that's separate from the citation.
I agree with
where
that.
it's like a tourism
I agree.
award or a tourism bracelet or something that maybe is similar to like a key. It doesn't have to be a paper.
I was talking.
It could be
I was
something
talking to
else where
Ruckus
it's
about this.
created and it helps the city. Like if someone comes through and they perform, John or anyone that represents the state, someone that works for the state can go and give this to this artist and they get this, right? And it could be innovative, right? It could be done in a unique way where Providence stands out. It could be a cool design. It could be something that's so unique and different, and it helps the tourism, and it separates it from the citation, because a citation is an actual piece of paper that people can apply to their resumes, et cetera, and it helps people's careers. But then when we do it in a surplus, and you do it with this Bhad Bhabie, Boss Mandilo, and then Boss Mandilo says he thinks it's the key, it starts diluting it, right? It
I agree
starts
with that.
diluting it.
I agree with
And
that.
you handing them out along with other councilmen that do this.
And to be clear, I
It's
am
a part of your job.
selective of like, because again, I have to call the clerk's office and say, these are the citations that I want.
Yeah.
So if someone, I get probably hundreds of these requests, and I turn some of them down. I'm like, no, right? Like, so I agree with that. But yeah, to your point, we should probably maybe do something different so it doesn't dilute it, but it also, we're not comparing like local and national and other talent, because yeah, you don't want to dilute the value, but hopefully this does add value to it too, because it's like, okay, like if a large artist gets it and I get it too, then it's something that's very meaningful, and it is something that's meaningful. You put it on your resume, like it's an important.
I just think
thing.
it has to make sense. Like we've said before, like if it's an artist that comes here, frequents a lot, you know, and they have a relationship with this city, like DMX would always be seen.
Someone said like
in Kennedy Plaza, walking
Fab
around.
has like
Fabulous
a residency.
Yeah,
here
Fabulous
in
has a residency here. Basically, he's always in
Boogie
Providence
too.
performing. A Boogie with the hoodie's always in Providence performing. Like these are artists that I can guarantee you know what Providence is. They've met Providence. You know, they might have partied with some Providence men, Providence women. Like they've actually put their time and energy into the culture of the city. I think it could make sense to give it to them rather than just Boss Mandilo's first night here, Bhad Bhabie's first night here, because it gets misrepresented. Right?
Yeah.
It's completely taken
or it should
out.
be something completely different.
Or make it something completely different.
And
I
you know,
think I can help.
someone was
I can
saying
help
like
making this.
you should get him a gift card to Providence Place Mall.
That's stupid.
It's like I
fine.
don't know
I
about
can
that,
make this happen.
but like
And also to coincide, I personally do agree, and I felt this way where, again, we love the city, we love our culture, so we are very vocal whenever we feel like something fucks with it, right? And I understand that. But then a lot of you out there who leave comments on things like this, please do your research. I want you all to be able to name your representatives, your council members. I want you all to rally up and actually vote if you disagree with people.
And go to City Hall.
Go to City Hall.
City Hall.
You know what I'm
Go
saying?
attend city
Like,
council meetings.
If
do
you
your
want
research.
these dollars,
And for context, John, for example, how many people voted for you to win your last election?
our last
It
election,
was like, well,
probably like over 3,000-4,000 people.
don't use it.
know.
Don't use his
No, I'm
district
not-
as a measure.
I'm
They
not-
vote. They vote.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is 3,000 or 4,000, right?
Yeah.
People. How many people, let's say, attended the Bhad Bhabie concert? You said like 500,
Yeah.
right? Like, how many people probably were at the AMP center for the state arena for the Glorilla Boss Mandilo concert? Probably, what, like 10,000 or so?
Yeah, exactly.
Like triple that amount.
So if those people
so if those
exercise
people
their right to
cared,
vote,
you guys can vote. You can vote for John. You can vote for someone else. If you didn't like if you didn't like John doing this situation with Bhad Bhabie, you know, and you want to vote him out, technically you can. Even though I would recommend you to not let that be your only deciding factor. Do your research on things that affect people day to day and what they actually have going on, because I think that there is a problem with that, where the negativity is louder than everything else, right? People highlight that the most. And I understand it, because again, Bhad Bhabie, what, Cash Me Outside, how about that? Her? So I get that. But let's use this moment as a moment of holding ourselves accountable as people from the city, in the same way we feel about him and this one decision he made with this. Utilize that energy and focus it now into actually applying it to educating yourself. Do you know your city reps? Do you know your district? A lot of people don't even know what a district is. These are significant things that need to change. And I if you guys have never voted, I recommend I recommend you to do your research locally and vote, especially locally. I've always told people this, right? You want to, the big parties, this is a blue state. Okay, I get that. But if we're talking about on a regional level, especially for specific decisions that get made, there's literally things that you can vote on that they literally ask you yes or no. And if enough people vote yes, it goes yes. And if enough people vote no, it goes no. That's how regional and how strategic these voting things are. When you go and actually vote locally, you see these things, but people don't know that, or they don't get reminded of that. So I'm always here to remind you, and let's use this moment as a moment to educate ourselves, because there's no progress in just bashing John forever because of things like this. Like, let's actually, he's a council member. Let's actually work with him and other council members and create dialogue and create conversations and create change. A step forward could be something as small as that, but it still would be effective. I'm telling you right now, because people care about this culture. If you do some shit in Providence where it's like people come here and you do like a tourism award or a tourism acknowledgement that's separate from a citation, you create something differently, that is going to be extremely helpful. I can just see that.
And let's take it a step further.
I love
John,
that. I love
as
that.
a legislator,
I love that.
would you be willing to introduce legislation that creates something like that for people who are coming in to perform? And are you willing to introduce legislation that actually provides legitimate resources as an attachment to an award given to artists in the city? Because if you introduce legislation like that, I promise you, we will support it.
Oh.
We will promote it, and we will tell people to show up to whatever meeting they need to show up and support this bill.
I love that. So I think we should continue to talk about what that looks like. So one of the things that I've talked to people about, and it's as a result of all of this, and I'm actually really grateful that I think we've learned so much in this process, and all the feedback that we've gotten from people is exactly what you're sharing, where this helps us to figure out what do we do from here. And I'm actually so glad that this got so many people's attention, because we're engaging in this conversation. Now, I could have just said, look, my constituents don't really care about this issue.
Yeah.
Because they don't, right? And the work that I'm doing for my constituents know, right? Like, I just introduced an ordinance that's like a $6.2 million bond that's going to impact, like, my constituents, right? And, like, I know how to bring the bacon back to my ward. I know how to get results for my constituents. But I would say, to your point, one of the things that someone recently brought to me, and this is why I was just at an event with people.
Yeah.
And the difference between maybe me and some other elected officials is, like, they'll make you go through the 2, 3, 4 secretaries that you have in the office.
Yeah.
And you can't even access them. When I'm at an event, I don't care who you are or, like, or what your status is. I'm like, here, like, take my number. Let's be in touch, and, like, give me feedback about the things that you want to see.
So, John, how can we help?
How can we help
you to legislate? That's my question.
Yeah, so
How
let
can we
me
help you
get
to
at this. Like,
legislate?
this is a great suggestion. I'd be eager to, like, float more of these ideas, and maybe your audience will, like, in the chat or whatever, give us some more ideas. Someone was like, all right, maybe we should create, like, a panel of people who have, like, legitimacy in, like, the space, right? The hip hop space, or, like, whatever artistic space. And those people can help curate, like, the 50 people that we recognize. Because, like, what I want to do is I actually want to bring, like, 50 creatives together and like, give them their flowers and their citations. But for me, I think it has to be more than that. It can't just be, like, a piece of paper or citation where we say, like, here, like, this is a great accomplishment. I think we need to put resources in our money where our mouth is. So what that looks like for me is, do we put on, like, a unity concert where, because I get that there's a lot of competition in the space, and, like, if you're you're not a part of the 50, you're automatically going to be salty. You're going to be like, how come they didn't recognize me? What do you mean, right? And there's a lot of
that's another thing.
There's a lot of ego that's
we
involved.
can never, no matter what, we can't please. Also, everyone can never be pleased, no matter what, because at the same time, if a certain amount of people get selected to be honored locally, local artists, there's still gonna be a bunch of other ones DMing, leaving comments saying, "Hey, well, what about me? What about me? What about me?" Right? And that's another thing where we also, I think, qualifications and actual like things that people need to like accomplish.
And this is what the panel would do.
Yeah, I think
so
that's
so
that
so
would be
kind of
awesome.
like remember, I don't know, what was it, the Source or XXL? Remember they used to come out with like their top like
I think you mentioned it to me, but it's
artists.
XXL freshmen. They do the XXL
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
freshman list every
But
year.
that would be dope. And I think like we have to get out this mentality that like because someone else is winning, that is our loss.
Yeah.
I think that we should be happy for anyone who's doing well in Providence, anyone who's being successful. And I get it, right? You might feel like, what do you mean I didn't get my flowers, or I've been putting in work for so long? But at the same time, this is where we need to unify. I'm all about unity. I'm about bringing people together. So if you want to throw shades in the comments, like you can do whatever your heart desires, but how is that helping us get to where we need to be?
Yeah.
And how is that productive? So if you have genuine ideas, you know where to find me. I would love to engage in these conversations. And I think if we can, here's what I envision, whether it's the PVD Fest or another venue where we bring together these 50 artists and like they put on a hometown concert, like to the point where I was like, I've been thinking about this so much that I was like, you know what, I'll call like Gary or like Frank Manfredi. Like downtown's in my district, right? Like they own the Strand. And I was thinking like, should I just call them and just say like, would you be open to this idea? They have a venue.
Yeah.
And like, this is the other thing that people need to understand. Government touches every facet of your lives. When there's something bad that happens at a nightclub, guess who shuts it down? Government.
Yeah.
When there is a permitting issue, guess who approves that? Government. So what separates like a Stay Silent, International Nasty, Sabrina, and like the people who want to do these things is their relationships with government.
I understand that, John.
Like they can pick up the phone because they know how to navigate the process. And if you're trying to learn what that process is, call us so that way we can say, oh, like you want to do something at India Point Park, or you want to do something at this venue or this like city-owned thing. Like, I'm a Providence guy. I want to help people in our city. And that's the fundamental difference. Like, they know the process. And I'll tell you another thing, right? You know how many calls and emails I get from my constituents when you know, they're doing a Stay Silent event at India Point Park, or like when the Puerto Rican festival is there, Dominican festival, anything culturally happens there, I get hundreds of calls and emails. And you know what they're saying? John, or Councilman, the music is just way too loud. And for me, it's like, okay, this is where like my Providence comes in, because I'm like, first and foremost, this is a one-day event. The second piece is, I understand it's loud, but it's not like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, this is yeah, it's loud, but like it's only for a couple hours, and at the root of it, we're celebrating our culture and we're bringing people together.
Community.
And frankly, as an elected official, I could shut that down tomorrow. I could say, nope, I don't want to have, my constituents are complaining about it. They don't like the music, and I think part of that is, you know, there's some racial undertones to that. So I do think that, like, okay, if that there's an inherent difference when they don't like the music and when they do like the music, or if it's like the Seafood Fest versus like whether it's like a hip hop concert, right? Like, or if it's like, you know, fireworks in India Point Park or the Dominican Festival, right?
Yeah.
But there's no reason why we should shut down the Puerto Rican festival or like, you know,
Day Trail
because they don't like the music, because at the end of the day, even though it's not maybe like the East Side cup of tea, or it's not my constituents don't necessarily love it, it's Providence.
But John, this is the
It's precisely who we are.
Yeah, but this is the difference between gentrification and stopping gentrification. I'm asking you is, how do we legislate this? Because you're not going to be here forever.
That's
and
true.
neither is the members of your council. I can build
that's
whatever
true.
relationship I want.
That's true.
You are a part of the legislative body, and I want to know, how can the artists of this city legislate it so we're not only supporting the artists here for a long period of time and they're not getting pushed out, but we're also supporting artists that are coming in that probably certain groups wouldn't want here.
Yeah, so I don't know what the answer is off the top of my head, but what you're getting at is a really interesting thing that I think we should certainly explore, which is what mechanism or what kind of legislation could we introduce to ensure that artists are getting the kind of resources and funding that they really need. And you learn this in politics very early on, that you don't make promises that you can't keep.
I know.
So I'm not going to tell you on this show, we're going to do this thing. I don't do that.
I respect that.
But what I do is engage with people and say, if you have ideas, let us know. And then what my job is to like work with my staff and work with, our policy department to say, how can we make this idea come to fruition?
Yeah.
And what are other cities doing, and how can we make this happen? Because anything's possible. We just have to have the wherewithal to want to do it and the political will to want to do it. And if there are enough people who are advocating for it, you better believe, like, if there's a constituency that's saying we should get it done, that's our job. My job is to be responsive to the people. So if you tell me this is what you want, which is what I do with legislation all the time, when my constituents say we need this done, or we need this kind of legislation, or this law on the books, or we need funding for this, I go out and get it. And it's because there are people in my ear who are telling me that, like, this is an important priority for them. But it's also like, part of it is I have to be a visionary too, and say, like, every single year at the top of the year, I actually goal set where I say, like, what are the things that I can do around housing affordability? Because that's a huge issue in our city. What are the policies that I can introduce to help that very issue? What are the things that we need to do around our climate or our environment? What do we need to do around, just any issue for that matter? And I mean, we haven't gotten in the weeds about policy, but like, I can give you a million things that not a million, I shouldn't say that, but like, I can give you, but I can give you like real concrete examples of like legislation that I've led and that I've gotten across the finish line that is making a huge difference in our community.
Some quick rapid fire questions I want to mention, since we have you in here as well.
Yeah.
We have the councilman in the building, John. One of them was we have people at right now. A local issue that's happening is Butler Hospital. Workers are striking from Butler Hospital, and there's an issue where they were questioning whether they were being actually ticketed.
Yeah.
People were being ticketed for their actual strikes, right? And you being a councilman, I wanted to ask you your take on this situation and the validity of this actually happening or not.
It's happening.
Yeah.
I know, because some of those people, they're not necessarily my constituents, but I have relationships all across the East Side, so my phone is ringing all the time about it.
It was ringing right now. Your phone's ringing right now.
Yeah,
It's ringing all the time.
So people are basically, the neighbors aren't happy about it, so they're rightfully so. They're a little angry and upset. So
Are you happy about it?
what happens? Absolutely, I support workers' rights. So like,
Okay.
they need to hold their leadership accountable, and they're fighting for living wages. So yes, like they should be exercising their First Amendment rights, because that's what you do when your employer is not treating you fairly.
Yeah.
And that's what those people are doing. I think the challenge, because this is, and I'm a straight shooter. I'm just going to tell you how it is. The challenge with some of the constituents there is they just feel like It's been like the music's been blaring. They're trying to get their kids to bed at night. And so there are like two sides to kind of every story. So I think what has happened is like government is supposed to be responsive to people. So what ends up happening in a situation like this is like the mayor's office or like the council office will get a lot of calls from the constituents saying, what are we doing to enforce the noise ordinance? And let me tell you, like East Side people are fierce, right? Like
No,
they
I
will
know.
literally pull out the ordinance and say like, this is against the law. And they'll literally threaten to like sue the city and say like, if you don't enforce this, like we're gonna. So it's a balancing act. So you have to make decisions about, well, frankly, right? Like if a law is being violated, if there's an ordinance being violated, do we enforce it or do we not? And that's a, you know, it's a, you have to be careful about those things. But they did issue a couple tickets to people who were using like bullhorns because it was a violation of the noise ordinance. Whether or not you agree with that, that's what happened.
Did you agree with it?
Did I agree with the fact that they got
The ticket?
That they got the ticket? I'll say that I think that they should have had an opportunity to exercise their right. I think there's a difference between like residential and commercial zones, which is like this is what I was trying to figure out the whole time. Is like, first off,
That's a commercial zone, isn't it?
no, it's a residential zone. 'cause-
What? Butler Hospital?
Yeah, but like where they're doing the protests is like really close to like a lot of houses.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting because like where the corporate headquarters are, they're actually in my ward. So I think that it would have been more appropriate for them to maybe like do all that stuff at the corporate headquarters, and I think that would be more effective at like getting their message across than maybe where they're doing it now. Because right now what's happening is like there's a dynamic where they're pissing off a lot of the neighbors, and then it's like that becomes problematic for like all sides, right? So whether you agree or disagree, I think, you know, like they have their right to do that.
Yeah, because there's people that are just, they live there, they just care about, oh, it's too noisy, they don't know. Some people just could care less about
And
what's
some
happening.
of those people are valid too. Like they want their peace and quiet, right?
Yeah,
Like
some
that's
people
fair.
want their peace and quiet, so like that's gonna be the people. And sometimes people obviously they know that they have the power of like, oh, I can call. So it's like they could just also exaggerate the shit or like lie, just straight up lie. Because
Yeah.
if they call for the complaint, like many times they have, and it's not actually what's going on, they can maybe get some pull. Like I'm saying,
I've
like,
done it.
Yeah,
yeah, or call the cops or whatever.
And
the
honestly,
same way people
that's-
call the cops when
that-
nothing's happening.
And honestly, that's government, right? Like
Yeah.
I think, right? Like when my constituents were calling me about this and saying like, why are we not like, why are we not enforcing the ordinance, right? Like, I called the lieutenant and I was like, what's going on down there? I just like want to get a sense of like what is like what's the issue down there? And he explained it to me. He's like, you know, like there's a lot of not happy neighbors and they're really upset and they feel like we should be, you know, we should be enforcing the law here.
Yeah,
And so like, but everyone's trying to do the best that they can.
yeah,
And I think that like, believe it or not, like if the police department wanted to like be really stringent about it, they could issue a lot of tickets. But I think like they issued a couple to just to basically say like, look, you kind of need to pipe it down. We've given you a couple warnings.
yeah. It's been a couple weeks now, right? Third week,
yeah,
fourth week,
and
It's
like
been a month almost.
I can tell you, there are some neighbors that are at their like wits end.
Yeah,
But this is also why it's critically important not to judge, right? Because like you might have a side that you're on, but these things are so complex. There's so many moving parts to these things, and as an elected official, or as just like as a city, right? We have to be thinking about liability too.
yeah.
'Cause, like-
Another question, 'cause I want to keep it going because I don't want to
Yeah.
be here too long. I know you're very long-winded, so I want to get some questions out since we have the opportunity of having you visit us today. The mayor of Providence, Rhode Island, received a lot of backlash because of his visit. Right, he went to Israel. Right, he went to Israel, or was it Was it Israel
It was
specifically?
Israel, yeah.
He went on a trip to Israel and he received a lot of backlash, especially specifically for the people that are in support of the innocent lives being taken in Palestine. What has been your reaction, or what is your reaction, especially to the feedback that he's gotten? Because I think that specifically, there was a crowd outside of his house specifically for that reason. I believe that we covered here.
And by the way, the mayor's a constituent of mine, so he's like, I'm his councilman.
Okay.
So yeah, I remember when he voted for you.
Yeah. So what's your reaction to that specific situation and the local backlash that he's facing?
Well, I think this is, first off, I just want to acknowledge just the sheer humanity of what people are going through, particularly, you know, the Palestinians, and just the atrocities that are happening there. Like, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like, it's brought me to tears, you know. And I've talked to constituents too who feel like what's happening is just, it's just terrible. And I think this kind of goes back to the conversation about like unity, which is we need to be bringing people together. And ultimately, I want peace, right? Like that, and I'm sure a lot of people want that. I think the other side of the coin, and I'm not trying to like make any moral equivalencies here or say like one side is right, one side is wrong, but as someone who has Jewish constituents, and I've heard their perspective on this, depending on the perspective, like the response is very different. So some of my Jewish constituents have felt very hurt about the fact that what sparked this in the first place was the October 7th attacks. And this is a very complicated issue. It's actually out of the purview of local politics. So, you know, like I don't think it's my place to opine on this. It's more of a congressional issue. And I encourage people to reach out to their congresspeople and share their opinions on it. But there's a lot of hurt out there, and people are very divided on this issue. And I just want to remind people that regardless of your perspective, you just have to remember, like, our city is made up of all kinds of people. And when those people see things that are symbolic, or when people see things that may undermine the security or the safety of their community, like, you have to understand that that's like a serious issue. It has serious implications.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into like the nitty gritty. And I don't even know if I should like share this, but you know, like even when there was the flag raising recently, and I'm getting a little teary-eyed about this because it's like this like these are people that are impacted, right? Like I remember getting like an internal email from like people who work in the office, and like they were legitimately afraid because like we there's a lot that we can't share, but it's like, you know, there was an email that came through that was like, you know, SWAT is like on standby like a minute away. And there are people literally at City Hall that were like, you know what, like, we don't feel safe coming into work today. Like, those people couldn't go in and do their job for the people because of everything that was going on. And, you know, like, these things are serious, right? Like, there are a lot of crazy people out there who will, you know, send bomb threats or all kinds of things. And like, this is why this is not a game. It's not a joke.
Yeah.
And like I would also caution people to not just write people off all the time and say like, you know, when we're trying to make serious decisions, to not say like, oh well, like you support this or you support this, or make assumptions about where someone stands on an issue, because it's so complicated and there's so many nuances to it. And I know that's kind of long-winded, but like I would just caution people to, because people call people names all the time. It's just like kind of the nature of just like the beast in social media and politics.
Yeah, people love to offend and disrespect.
Yeah,
online.
And I think that one thing that everyone could certainly learn from, and myself included, is, and this is why I'm very deliberate about the decisions that I make. I really try to take a step back and say, like, how is this impacting all of us? And what are going to be the impacts and the implications of this situation, especially on our local community? And for me, if it's going to create consternation and divide, and it's going to make people in a local community like at odds with each other, I think we're doing them a disservice. And that's, I mean, whether you agree with that or you don't, that's just how I approach it.
And also another local issue that people tagged me in a lot over the weekend was there are family members of actual inmates inside of the ACI corrections that are calling out the ACI. They're accusing the ACI of corruption, right? In a sense. Specifically, I think they're trying to target, they're saying that there's issues inside of the intake, that there's family members of them being mistreated, saying that they have been beaten up and literally left bloody. This is what they're accusing them of. Today, I think this morning, I want to say this morning, there was actually, they went to visit the ACI. So they're protesting at the ACI. They went to ask questions at the ACI. What is your reaction to this, being a councilman here in this city?
Yeah. I'm trying to find out more about this. And what's kind of fascinating is when I saw this, and this is like so how plugged in I am, right? And just like being a Providence guy, like someone actually gave my number to a person who was like a part of this, right?
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
If you look at my call log, like I literally just had a conversation with this gentleman this evening.
Okay.
Like between meetings, he called me yesterday, and I couldn't get back to his call, and we talked about it. I was like, yeah, what's going on? Like, tell me more about the situation. And like, I think it like this, I didn't know you were going to ask this, but it's kind of a very serendipitous example of like, when you know an elected official, or when you can call someone, I mean, like that, there's a lot of power in that.
Yeah.
And like, I can't, again, like, I'm not going to judge the situation because I don't know what's happening, but it sounds like whatever is happening is serious. And he explained the situation to me, and I was like, no way, like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy, because if they're doing that, that's just like, it's just,
that's insanity.
It's wrong,
Yeah,
right?
immoral.
But we've been hearing stories about the ACI for years. Do you think we should abolish the prison system?
Abolish the prison system?
Yeah, simple question.
That, I don't know how simple of a question that is, but but I would say that, like me being responsive to him, and he's gonna get back to me because he was like, oh, like I still wanna, I shouldn't like share the full contents of the conversation, because obviously he confided in me privately about this, but I told him, I was like, those sound like very like problematic allegations, and
what could the people do? What should the people do? And what would be advice for the people right now who are worried about the situation? Because it's not specifically in your
Yeah, yeah,
area.
and it's not even in my purview. It's
Yeah,
really a state issue.
But what would
like
be your take? You know, your professional take as an actual
Ye-
politician in the state
yeah,
of Rhode Island.
so what I recommended is just, I don't want to jump to any conclusions. Like there has to be like concrete stuff out there, but it's also like what he's saying is like that sounds terrible. So I just recommended a couple of things to him, and I'm gonna get back in touch with him. And even though it's not in my purview, I think that like government is all about relations. We all know each other, right? Like if I need to call Governor McKee, like I just call him up, right? Like I literally just pick up the phone and call the governor, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all in politics, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and so I want to do a deep dive on this because someone brought it to my attention. And
So do
again,
you think we should apply pressure on the governor?
no, I'm not saying that because I don't know all the facts,
Yeah.
and I can't jump to conclusions.
Or will you?
But
will
what
you
I
reach
will,
out to the governor maybe off of this?
Yeah,
Just like give
yeah,
him a
'cause-
call.
yeah,
to see,
'cause-
like, hey, do you know about this, or do you know? Have you heard about if this has
Yeah,
this passed your office?
yeah,
or-
that's probably my next step, right? Like
Yeah.
if I needed to reach out to him, like that's not a problem. I have a good relationship with him. So I mean, and this is not a city issue, but Governor McKee, to his credit, right? Like he's always been very responsive, and part of it is just like I've got a very important district, right? Like Ward 1 is we're the economic engine of not only the city of Providence but the state of Rhode Island, right?
Mhm.
Like I've got the Superman building in my ward, right? Like all the commercial real estate downtown, like East Side, right? Like it's an important we're an important part of both the city and the state.
100%.
And like, when the whole Washington Bridge closure stuff was happening and like my constituents, that's also my ward, right? Like my constituents were upset about it. It's just like, yeah, I can, that's our job, right? Is to advocate appropriately for our constituents. And like if I need to pick up the phone and call someone, like that's what I'm gonna do. So
Yeah.
this is an interesting one. Well, first and foremost, I want to also just like acknowledge like the pain that anyone's going through. I think regardless of whether or not, regardless of like why you're in there, right? Like you're still a human being.
Yeah.
And
Shouldn't be treated like an animal.
yeah, and you still deserve
Yeah.
dignity.
You shouldn't even treat animals that way, the way that this is being described. So
Yeah. So yeah, that's totally unacceptable.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you have to take things with a grain of salt, but I try to really take people's like word in their perspective at face value, and I think we'll continue to dig into it. And
Yeah, and also if anyone with any connections, like I always, anytime we talk about a topic, I always mention this. But if there's anyone with any connections at the ACI, a representative of the ACI, this platform, the doors are always open. If you guys are female, whoever wants to speak, maybe in response to this, you can come up here because there has been a lot of allegations in the past, but a post is one thing, but when it comes to legally, you're gonna have to need concrete evidence and to actually have people be like, okay, create a full-on movement, especially if it's just like one quick post. But I do appreciate everyone that did tag me because I made sure to talk about it, and we're talking about it now, and we have the councilman here, so I made sure to bring it up to him. So I'm doing my due diligence to the best of my ability, and condolences to any of the family members that are being affected if this is actually going on, because this is disgusting. And I have heard and have seen actual families years ago be affected by this type of situation, mistreatment inside of these facilities directly. So this has happened in the past. So if it's happening again, I think it's horrible. Last question from me. Today we were there earlier. Protests happening. LA protests against ICE, and locally in Providence there were some protests as well. Peaceful protesting, I might add. A shout out to the officers and everyone that was there today. What is Councilman John's reaction to the protests happening right now nationally?
yeah,
And also regionally, but more importantly, the national one that's gotten the biggest attention because of obviously vehicles being lit on fire, etc. But what is your reaction to the ICE protests, especially after I want to say Trump deploying troops, National Guard members to these protests, and the outcry has gotten even larger now?
Yeah, I think it's inflammatory. I think that Gavin Newsom knows California. Karen Bass, who I know too, like they know their city and their state. And I think there are a lot of people out there, particularly our immigrant community, that they're afraid. And right before I came here, actually, I did an interview with Channel 10, and there's my statements out there, and it was basically, we're gonna support in Providence our immigrants and our immigrant community 1,000%.
Are you against ICE deporting people? As they've been in Pawtucket and CF? Like, they've been literally going into people's homes.
Of course I'm against that. Like, of course I'm against that. I think, like, the way that the federal government is weaponizing ICE and even the National Guard is it's a big problem.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people in our community that are feeling very afraid, and rightfully so. And I want to be kind of careful about what I say here, because you've seen what they've been doing to democratic cities, particularly places like Boston, where they've really come. Mayor Wu's a friend of mine, and they've really come down on Boston. And as someone who cares deeply about Providence, like, the last thing that I want is for the federal government to be putting a spotlight on Providence and saying we need to go in there.
Yeah, the same way they're doing with Boston. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's me just being protective of our community. But for those who are in the immigrant community, I just want to remind folks, and I think the council is doing a really good job at this, that we have their back 100%. And if they feel fearful, or if they see something that they're worried about, particularly as it relates to this issue, to please reach out to us. And in fact, what we're doing right now is, in partnership with Dorcas International and some other organizations, we're sending folks in our city essentially little cards that show them what their rights are, so that if they're ever approached by an ICE officer, they can exercise their rights. But also, we've been pretty clear about the role and the function of our local police departments. They are not immigration enforcement officers. It is not their purview. So they're not to get involved.
And the city have told this to the police department.
Yes. And there are exceptions, right? Like, if there is a violent offender, right? Like, that's federal law. There's not much that we can do about that.
But we're still sanctuary city in the sense that the police isn't reporting undocumented immigrants.
We're not proactively, doing that work of immigration enforcement, because that's not their job. Our local police department has a role and a function, and it's not that.
Yeah.
And so, everybody knows that. That's pretty clear, at least like in the police department, from the leadership on down. And again, like, our job is to also ensure the safety of the residents of our city. And frankly, if you're someone who is here in this country, in our city, you're contributing to the very fabric and mosaic of our community, our job is to make you feel safe.
Yeah,
And that's the police job's the police's responsibility and job as well. So
Yeah. And also, John, right, next year, the mayor of Providence next year would be up for re-election, correct? 2026 election year.
Yeah.
Is there a future of Councilman John running for mayor? What do you see yourself? Is this a possible situation for you in the future politically?
I would say that I'm going into my third term, so my goal is to run for re-election. It would be my last term. I'd be term limited. I think I have a lot of work to do, particularly for the residents of the East Side and downtown, which is my constituency, but all across the city. And so what I hope to do is just continue to just like put my head down and do the work. I mean, like, you can go to my website, you can see everything that I've accomplished, and we've accomplished a whole lot.
Yeah.
And that's, I also really appreciate like the people who like there have been a lot of people who've been, you know, saying positive things where they're like, you know how hard that guy works, like, you know, like how connected he is to the community, like he's a real Providence guy. Like there's been like such an outpouring of support from people who actually know me too, which has been exciting. For many years, people have said like, you should run for mayor, you should run for mayor, you should run for mayor. My constituents kind of, your home base will always tell you that, right? But sorry, I don't mean to give you a long-winded answer, but it's too premature for me to like make any of those decisions right now. I think like I'm just putting my head down and doing the work. I like recently, you know, I'm doing a 1-year MPA or Master's in Public Administration at Harvard Kennedy School. So like I'm just learning and trying to figure out how I can be the best that I can be. You know, I've been an educator for over 10 years by trade. You know, Brown alum 2 times, right? Like I think I've got a great resume. I'm really from Providence, which is, I think a lot of elected officials can't say that. Like really from like the mud, like Providence public schools. And I think what I want for my city is someone who really understands us. And I hope that whether you agree with me or disagree with me or this whole Bhad Bhabie citation issue, whatever, it's like, I hope that this interview also allowed you to see like who I am and like my stripes as a human being and someone who cares deeply about the city. And for me, it's like, how do we just continue to unify, show empathy, show love to, you know, our city, but uplift everyone.
Yeah.
And that's not just like, you know, certain parts of the city, because even though I represent one part of the city, I'm always thinking about Providence.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, this could be a perfect pivot where you know, when you gave the citation to Bhad Bhabie, people were in the comments like, this man doesn't know hip hop, this man doesn't know hip hop, you know, Providence, Rhode Island. What's your top 5 rappers of all time? Do you have a top 5 rappers of all time?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a good one. Wow. Number 1 is Hove. And I've met Hove, believe it or not. And
here in Providence?
Nah, it was actually in Malibu.
Okay.
But
yeah, tell them what your name used to be.
We can get what.
You used to work for a radio station.
Yeah, well, I'll give you the backstory on that at some point.
Well, I also heard, I did hear, I'm not sure if it's true, but I did hear that I heard that you used to also rap. That's what someone told me. I don't know if that. I'm like, well, I gotta ask him. Did he rap?
Back in the day, man? Yeah.
What was your rap name? You have a rap name?
I can't remember, man. It's just like shout. This I was probably literally in grade school, but this gives me an opportunity to shout out some really amazing people that like I know in Providence who have been doing amazing work. Fair Price, for example.
Okay.
Like, you know, D Gomes actually, like, I've known D Gomes since I was a kid. Like we used to play basketball, like Fox Point Boys and Girls Club, Johnny Brito, hook shot.
Yeah.
You know, like, so when people see this, they're gonna be like, wow, like that's really Providence.
Yeah.
And like Johnny Brito, shout out to Johnny Brito, the whole Brito family. Like, since I've been in office, like, we put up statutes. Like, my office has funded this because I know how important he is. We put up murals for that guy. Like, but yeah, when I was in college, it's like really interesting. Like, we had like a student radio station, and like, you know, I was a part of it, and actually I met a lot of industry people that way, because it was like we were talking to a lot of industry people.
He has an interview with Ray Schmurda.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray Sherman?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, Sway Lee and
Yeah, I was actually a college kid. I was in college.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Wow.
And what really kind of got me in that was I met a couple people. So, you know, I mentioned earlier in the interview. So Craig Kalman, the CEO of Atlantic Records, that's actually where he got his start in the industry.
Oh wow.
So he learned, like, in college. He eventually became the CEO of a company called Big Beat, and then Big Beat was acquired by Atlantic Records, and he's been like the CEO of Atlantic Records for like 20 plus years. And like everyone who's under him is like, A Boogie signed to Atlantic, Bhad Bhabie, right? Cardi B signed to Atlantic, right? Like, I remember talking to, like, you know, people in the industry about and just about that, and just like when Craig signed her, I was like, congratulations, like, that's exciting.
So what university was that then? So
I went to Brown.
So
Brown.
he was so Craig Kalman went to Brown University.
Yeah, he went to Brown, and
here
then
in Providence.
And the other piece is like,
wow, I didn't know that.
So and this is why, like, it's so interesting, like the connections here. Like, I'm also good friends with Stephen Hill. Stephen Hill,
the BET Awards are here today.
Yeah, former president of BET. Like, me and Stephen, like, Stephen also got his start at this radio station
at Brown University.
Yeah, Brown University.
Providence,
Brown
Rhode
alum.
Island. Wow.
Yeah. Also, Deborah Lee. So Deborah Lee, who is the CEO of BET.
BET, yep.
Also got her start at Brown University. They're all Brown alums, and like
that. The Boondocks episodes make so much more sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was mocking her. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, so these are all people who I've had the privilege and honor of knowing over like the course of my life. And it's just like, dude, I was in my 20s and I was like rubbing shoulders with these people. And actually, like, when I was in college, I didn't know what I was gonna do, and like, it was those people who were like, "Oh, like, we'll get you an internship if you want to do one." And when I was in college, I interned for Avery and Monty Littman at Republic Records, and this is when we just, like, I was in like meetings, like when like we had just signed The Weeknd. And like no one knew what The Weeknd looked like, and like I knew what he looked like because I was in the room, you know, like. And then, you know, Drake, all of Cash Money, Young Money, they have a distribution deal with Avery and Monty Littman through Republic Records. Like Lil Wayne, like that's how I met Khaled, like, and like when I tell you about this, like, I mean it, right? Like, you can give me an artist. Like, I'm like, Khaled is still on my phone.
We the best,
right? Like, Meek Mill, like, look, and like, I'm showing you this because it's like I have like 4 of his numbers because they've changed over time.
No, earlier you showed me, like, when you showed the J. Cole, you had the J. Cole new, like, you have different people's numbers throughout the years.
Yeah, and like, it was just like a surreal experience. It was just like the most surreal. And then I just, when I was there, and shout out to like Jennifer Norwood at Republic, like one of my like mentors when I was there. She, like, I remember just like I would sit in her office and like, we would just like, we would, this is like so interesting. Like, she'd be on the phone with like Pro Style or like Angie Martinez, like trying to get them to like spin a record or something. And it was just like, or like yeah, she'd be on the phone with like the executives at Hot 97, and we would just like, I was like going to New York and like commuting back and forth and stuff like that, and we were just like, I met all these artists and like.
Safe to say you know your hip hop.
Yeah, I know my hip hop, and then the other piece is like
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to someone who because I can't overlook this, and this is like how so plugged in I am in this industry, and I feel like I'm probably no one knows this about me, and like, dude, like I'm opening up a lot of can of worms here, so like Ben Jane. You know who that is?
Ben Jane, sounds familiar.
So I went to middle school with that kid. He used to we used to literally just like be in like his like basement, and he used to just like make music, like make beats for people. And he ended up, this is the craziest thing. Like, I was living in Minneapolis at the time. So after college, I moved to like Minneapolis, St. Paul, where I was I was an educator, but I was also involved in like some politics there and doing stuff there. And like, I remember him calling me, and he was like, "Yo, I just made this record for Rich the Kid." And he was like, "What should I do? Because like I don't even know." Because he's looking at me because like he's like, "You're the smartest kid I know from Providence. Like, you went to Brown. Like, you know all these people in the industry. Like, what should I do?" And he signed a deal with Ryan Press. And I remember like I was giving him advice about like, maybe you should like don't sign yet. Maybe you should hold off because like you could really make something big happen. But then like he had a big break. He made that record for Rich the Kid, New Freezer.
He made New Freezer.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar ended up jumping on it.
Wait, the producer of New Freezer's from Providence?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like, and that's my like we went to middle school together.
Hold up.
And so he hit me up when he released that record, and he's like, "Yo, you won't believe this. I heard New Freezer like
before it came out."
Before it came out, bro. And he was like, "What should I do?" I was like, "All right,
That's fire.
like let me like." He ended up signing a deal with Island Records, and like he also produced for. So he produced for ASAP Ferg.
Okay.
So like his catalog is like, he produced what did he produce for ASAP Ferg? I can't even remember the song right now. But it was fire. Like
shout out to Ben. We definitely got to interview Ben.
Yeah, the beat was fire. Well,
yep. Born and raised in Rhode Island.
Yeah, we can call Ben right now.
Yeah, we definitely got to
like
get him
that's
on
my
here.
that's my guy.
Yeah, after graduating high school, he moved to Harlem. Wow.
Yeah, so he was working with he was actually working with ASAP Rocky, and then after ASAP Rocky, he was like making like beats for them. Like they were jumping on like his beats, mixtapes, everything, and then like he popped with New Freezer, and then like his whole life changed. Like that. He was like, they gave him I don't even want to say the numbers. I remember because I was like, look, like he was asking me for advice about like who should I get to manage me? Like, should I sign this contract? And I was like, phew, like this is crazy. Like,
that's fire.
And yeah, so I mean, like I can't even remember everybody who he's produced for at this point. Like, he's been doing work with like Tizo recently.
Yeah.
He did a lot of work with
No, yeah. If people look up his name, I'm pretty sure they could see the whole discography, especially after New Freezer. That beat, alone, I could see his doors opening. That's a no brainer. So shout out to him. That's
I
major.
probably, because I was like on the phone with him when he was doing all that stuff, like and like giving him advice. I think I had like a New Freezer plaque.
Oh wow!
Like
fire.
Yeah, like so
a little A&R or like a little EP credit or something.
Yeah. So it's like it's just, and we didn't even dig into all this stuff, but like I'm really like plugged in that regard.
Well, that's amazing. Well, to end the top 5, so you got Jay-Z number 1.
Oh my bad. Damn, we got
number
sidetracked.
2.
Number 2, I'm gonna have to go with Nas.
Number 3,
Number 3, I'm gonna have to say Cole.
J. Cole. Okay, that's a good. That's an interesting one. Number 4,
I feel like if I don't go more old school, like the old school people are gonna be in the comments, and I'm not gonna say like a Rakim or like a
Yeah.
Run DMC, but like old school for me is probably like if I said Hove and I said Nas, I can't not say Big.
So Big at 4. Who's your 5th?
so last one. Yeah.
But and it's not.
Who's your 5th?
It's no dig at Big. I'm just saying like Hove, like you don't know.
oh no, yeah.
On my,
yeah.
on
I have
my-
nothing wrong
But
with that.
who's your 5th?
on
But
my-
who's your 5th?
on my,
Who's your
on my
5th?
way here, bro, I listened to Heart of the City because that's how I was feeling.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Heart of the City, though.
Okay.
Real talk. Heart of the City. You know when he?
I love
when
that song,
when he
though.
goes. When he goes. What line am I thinking? I'm thinking like I'm not trying to get sidetracked, but real talk. When he was like, not the male shouldn't be jealous. That's a female trait. When he goes, there's so many lines in
No,
that
yeah.
song, bro.
He's a quotable
Not
god.
where. Oh no, when he goes, what's the line that I'm thinking? Can you pull it up?
This guy is crazy.
Let me see,
What's
let me
your
see.
5th?
You got to be able to pull it up. When he goes, you don't have it over there.
What?
Let me see.
Vic's pulling it up.
You
that's
don't.
fine.
A Heart of the City.
I got it right here. Let's see. Will lyric. So you have y'all sensitive
here.
thugs.
Let me
Yeah, you can
see.
find it right there.
All
Y'all
right.
sensitive thugs.
Oh,
Need love.
yeah, that's a good line though. When he goes, it's the line right before that, where he goes, "Youngins ice grilling me. Oh, you not feeling me? Fine. It costs you nothing. Pay me no mind."
Yeah.
Right, like that's how I was feeling after the Bhad Bhabie citation, where it was like, "Look, I'm on my grind, cousin. Ain't got time for fronting. Sensitive thugs, y'all all need hugs.
Yeah.
Damn, little man, I'm just trying to do me. If the record
Don't sell. I'm trying to sell.
moves something, I'm just trying to move three.
3. Yeah. Classic.
What's your 5th?
Number 5.
Okay, but like those are my stripes, right?
Yeah.
5 is a hard one. I'm gonna say, because I said this in the video, and this was just like how I was feeling during the time, and I'm sure a lot of like hip hop people will like resonate with this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say, just being like a regional Northeast like dude, I'm just gonna have to give it to Dipset. Like I'm ready.
As a whole group?
So as a collective.
Yeah, I'm ready. Like, remember when that came out?
Bro, I was like 5, I promise you.
No, oh yeah, you're younger than me. But
Yeah.
like I'm
But
ready.
we still feel the
or
ramification,
like diplomatic immunity.
Oh no, yeah. No, I love it. You're showing your obviously. I would say
like wow,
people would argue probably it's a East Coast bias, etc. But it's like
yeah, that is it.
He was
but
born
I'm,
here.
I'm,
like
I'm
you know
from
what I'm saying?
the East Coast.
You're from the East
like,
Coast, so it's gonna give that. I do like that though.
The
That's not
Dipset
bad.
anthem.
Yeah, classic.
Like hold on.
John, you're so annoying. Oh my god. Pause before
We can't play too much of it. We're gonna get copyrighted.
All right,
Yeah.
All right, but like
Yeah.
there
Oh,
you
yeah.
go. That's Providence.
No, listen.
In my 2-piece suit.
Listen, we want to thank John for visiting us today.
Yeah, give him a round of applause.
Yeah, give him a round of applause. We appreciate you coming through. Again, reminder people, this is more constructive always. Conversation. Creating conversation. Discussing things. Meeting. You know, John did call me right after we highlighted the situation with him giving Bhad Bhabie a citation. You know, open line of communication. I think that's a very great thing that we have. So, again, appreciate you. Thank you for coming through today. And yeah, shout out to everybody in Rhode Island. This was a beautiful moment. We had to have him come through and connect with the people.
I mean, it's the other way around, man. I think what you're doing for Providence, like you are the epitome of like what we need to be seeing in the city. And like I
appreciate you.
I mean, you're everywhere, you know, like, and I'm just so proud of the work that you're doing here. And like, if there's anyone who should get flowers, man, it's you. So like,
Yeah.
I want to thank you for all that you're doing to put Providence on the map. And like,
Thank you.
you're the culture here.
Thank you.
And-
Where's my citation? You bring a citation? Should have brought a citation for
Oh
me.
man.
Where's my
Another one.
citation?
Oh
Another one.
man.
Bro,
No,
we have
I-
enough.
hey.
We have enough. Yo, we have
Oh,
enough.
well, you already
We don't gotta talk
got.
about
You
it.
already
Yeah,
got
we
one.
don't gotta
But
talk
I
about
got
it.
like,
plenty. I got
Talk about it,
plenty.
bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got plenty. But
We good,
thankfully,
we good.
thankfully, I got plenty.
you need to get one though.
Bro, I promise you have enough.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah, he told me he had
Yeah.
4 too. I'm like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
you got okay, good.
Well, this dude's been
I
on
didn't
my
know he had that many.
campaign. I don't even know if I've given you one.
We gotta get Marlon one.
gotta
Marlon
get
deserves
Marlon
one.
one.
Marlon's never got one. We gotta get Marlon a
gotta get
citation.
Marlon
Marlon
a
Vargas.
citation.
Hey, salute.
I'm good.
Marlon Vargas getting a
I don't-
citation
I
soon.
don't need that. that shit ain't worth nothing. So I'm good.
I hear it.
Oh man.
So thank you, John, for visiting. And again, open doors. You know what I'm saying? Round of applause again for John.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. No, walk him out real quick. I want to highlight when you as you walk him out to close the podcast with I guess Kendrick Lamar just won an award at the BET Awards.
Yeah.
And people keep sending it to me, so I want to highlight that right now. But appreciate you, man.
Hey, appreciate you too, brother.
Thank you for coming through. Listen, we're gonna post everything tomorrow. And what's his name again?
Oh, that's Jack.
Jack. Nice to meet you, Jack. Nice to meet you. Take care. You too. Appreciate you.
Hey, yo, that was a.
That's your right hand man right there.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Nice meeting him. But yeah, to close out the podcast right here, GNX Kendrick Lamar just won an actual award for GNX. He just won Album of the Year at the BET Awards for GNX. I'm gonna show you guys real quick his speech, his moment, real quick. Let's watch it real quick. It was like 40 seconds long. Thankfully, a short speech. That way we can end this podcast. I love that Kendrick actually went to the BET Awards. I think that's dope. That's very dope. That's beautiful. That's black. That's what we got to do. I like that. Because he's on tour. He doesn't have to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's on tour. He doesn't need to do this, but he showed up. So let's show him real quick.
I ain't been here in a long time, but
Put the TV
I
up on your
always
son.
kept my heart.
Yeah.
What's going on? Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Drewski didn't say hi, though, because Drewski, you know what I'm saying, Team Drake, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want to, he didn't say hi to Kendrick. But he said, I saw an earlier clip. Where's the clip? Let's watch it real quick, where he said hi to him. It was 2 seconds where he dapped him up.
They said he won 5 awards at the BET.
Oh, Kendrick won 5 awards? Correction. Okay, sorry. Thank you guys for correcting us. Yeah, he won 5 BET awards today.
How you doing, bro? You good?
So right there. Oh, because the woman's carrying the other 2. That's dope. Yeah. So, listen, congrats to Kendrick. Him going there, I think that's fire. Like I said, I think that speaks volumes.
Oh, wow, that's dope.
Did he? Okay, let's see. Was there another quick moment? Okay, right here. Let's see. Not Drake.
Oh, of course not.
Drake. Where's Drake? Why was Drake not at the BET Awards?
He didn't win any awards for Oh no, it doesn't.
Was
count.
Is Drake not representing the culture? Why was Drake not at the BET Awards?
They don't want him there.
What's going on?
They don't want him there.
Was he banned? I don't think he was banned from the BET Awards. He could have popped up real quick.
That's a beautiful black woman right there.
He's cool with Kai. He's cool with Kai Cenat. I'm saying, where's Drake at?
Is that JB Fox?
Not here, but he's there.
No, that's him, bro. Right there in the corner, with next to the.
Oh yeah, that's him right here. Good eye. Cause I saw him. He's there. But yeah, everyone was there
Bro, everyone was there.
except Drake.
Hey,
What
Drake.
happened? What happened, Drake?
Did you turn your TV off? Are you scared? Are you scared of him, Drake?
Are you not black enough? If this was the AMAs, you would be there. No, just kidding.
Is your skin not nappy enough? I said your skin. I meant your hair. Is your hair not nappy enough?
He wasn't at the AMAs either. But again, congratulations to Kendrick Lamar. You guys wanted us
That's
to highlight
beautiful.
it
Congrats.
during the live stream. Thank you for reminding us, because obviously if we cover it next week, it would be too late. This was dope. He won. Oh, it has it right here. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar won Album of the Year for GNX.
Wow.
He won Video of the Year for Not Like Us, the Drake diss. The Best Collaboration with SZA with Luther. Video Director of the Year with Dave Free, close friend who has PG Lang. They directed. I'm pretty sure it was Not Like Us together. PG Lang, and also the Best Male Hip Hop Artist. Now, can we agree with all these? I think yes.
Yes.
I think who else?
Oh,
Who
yeah.
else has a better video than Not Like Us? Who else has a better album in hip hop? Or not hip hop, I guess it's album than GNX. Even though it's not his last year, it still qualifies because I guess it's the end of the last year. And best male hip hop artist right now is Kendrick Lamar. It's Kendrick Lamar. Best collaboration right now that's out. Luther, SZA and Kendrick. So Kendrick Lamar, after sweeping the Grammys, sweeps the BET Awards. Congratulations to Kendrick Lamar. There we have it. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Be safe. And that's Cap. Oh, so 1, 2, 3. And that's Cap.
Cap.
We'll get better at that. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. See you guys next week. Be safe. Love one.